Chapter 75. Phew. Xing Hui panted and sat down on the ground. Beside him, Blazing Glory screamed. Due to the excessive blood loss, he gradually became weak. Your Excellency Pak Hui, let me go. As long as you're willing to let me go, I'll agree to anything. I'm willing to be your subordinate. I'm willing to serve you. Blazing Glory's eyes were pleading. Your only way out is to sign the Chaos Oath. Xing Hui said. The Chaos Oath requires 50 Taoist rhymes. I don't have that many. Even if I want to sign the Chaos Oath, I'm powerless. Blazing Glory looked pitiful and sincere. Your Excellency Pak Hui, please believe me. As long as you let me go this time, I'm willing to swear to the heavens that from now on, I won't dare to be disloyal to your orders. I'll be at your beck and call, Your Excellency Pak Hui. Qing Su shook his head. You're a Class 8 Son of Chaos. Even if you lose 5 levels of Chaos, you can still break the Oath of Chaos. Even if you swear the Oath of Chaos, I won't trust you completely. As a result, I'll be interrogating you for your method of chaos now. You know very well what happens to Sons of Chaos if they end up in the hands of others. Do you need to try and see if you can survive my interrogation? When Blazing Glory heard this, the fear in his eyes reached its peak. He couldn't help but say, no. 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 Your Excellency Pak Hui, on account of the fact that we're both members of Dawn, give me a chance. I swear that from now on, if I dare to be disloyal to you, I'll be struck by lightning. Xing Hui didn't say anything. He raised his sword and was about to stab down at Blazing Glory's Dantian. Wait. Wait. Your Excellency Pak Hui, please wait. I'm willing to submit to you. I remember now. Although I don't have 50 Taoist rhymes, I have a Chaos Oath. I'm willing to sign the Chaos Oath and serve Your Excellency Pak Hui from now on. Chaos Oath? The Chaos Oath was a special item. It was equivalent to an advanced version of the Chaos Oath. Unlike the Chaos Oath, which could only be signed between Sons of Chaos, the Chaos Oath could be signed in the form of an item. As for the method to obtain the Chaos Oath, let a Son of Chaos above the 10th level return to Chaos. Xing Hui's gaze landed on Yan Huang. Yan Huang hurriedly explained, the primal chaos inheritance I received was from a level 14 Eternal Life Stage 5 Green Netherworld Realm expert. He fought with another level 10 Son of Chaos who was also in the Green Netherworld realm until both sides were injured. In the end, I took advantage of the situation. You're willing to turn a 10th level Son of Chaos into a Chaos contract? Yan Huang smiled bitterly. That Son of Chaos injuries are too severe. His life is hanging by a thread, and he can't be saved. If I hadn't agreed to help him kill another level 14 Son of Chaos, I'm afraid I wouldn't even have been able to obtain this Chaos contract. Xing Hui looked at Yan Huang. Needless to say, the fortuitous encounters Xian Long obtained completely paled in comparison to him. Perhaps this was also the reason why Yan Huang was able to cultivate to the spirit refining realm and even awaken the sacred beast's bloodline, while Xian Long was just an ordinary person. A level 8 Son of Chaos who had awakened the sacred beast's bloodline and cultivated holy-grade astral chi, Xing Hui guessed that Yan Huang didn't want to violate the Chaos contract and be killed by the Chaos Temple to escape the pain of being tortured by him for the primal Chaos technique. Thinking of the threat Bai Yu brought, he nodded slightly. Hand over the Chaos contract. Yan Huang didn't dare to hesitate and handed over the Chaos contract with great difficulty. His 4 limbs had been pierced by Xing Hui, but his level 2 recovery ability allowed him to move slightly in this short period of time. Xing Hui immediately wrote down his rights on the Chaos contract: absolutely loyal subject, never deceived, obey orders, and so on. Yan Huang looked at the contract one by one and finally raised his head with a bitter expression. Your Excellency Pak Hui, I only hope that you can take into account that we're both members of Dawn, and add one more condition, which is to preserve my dignity. Living without dignity is no different from death. As long as you don't disobey my orders, I won't do anything that humiliates your dignity. Many thanks. Yan Huang lowered his head and finally signed his name. Following the signing, the chaos contract suddenly ignited and turned into a flame, disappearing without a trace. Greetings, Master. Yan Huang immediately knelt down and bowed to Tsinghui. Tell me your true identity. This subordinate is the master of the overseas Lu Li Island. An overseas force? Tsinghui glanced at Yan Huang and nodded. On the mainland, the 10 great saint sects were the kings. But overseas, there were countless islands scattered all over. Strictly speaking, overseas could be divided into the inner sea and outer sea. The outer sea referred to the sea that was 100,000 kilometers away from the eastern wasteland coastline. There were many peak-level beasts, spirit beasts, sacred beasts, and even divine beasts. The inner sea referred to the sea that was 100,000 kilometers away from the coastline. Those that lived on these islands were basically experts that were suppressed by the 10 great saint sections. They had no choice but to go overseas to establish their sect. The overseas forces that people often talked about referred to the inner sea. Although there were many experts in these forces, and their numbers were as numerous as the stars in the sky, their quality was far from being comparable to the 10 great saint sections. Yan Huang, who was a spirit refining realm cultivator, was definitely one of the overlords of the overseas. How did you find out my location? Tsinghui rested for a moment and asked. In fact, it is not difficult to find Master's location. I still remember the direction Master left in half a year ago. Coupled with the information I got from my Master, for cultivation, you naturally need a quiet and relatively safe place. Master's cultivation is in the awakening realm, so your range of activity can also be defined. Since you are cultivating, and have been cultivating for half a year, the best place to live is naturally a cave. A cave is near a mountain, and living requires water. With these clues and layers of searching, you will naturally be able to find Master's location. Tsinghui did not expect that he would reveal so much information. It seemed that he would have to be careful in the future. This cave has collapsed, we can't stay here any longer. There is a small cave 10 kilometers away from here, let's go there first. Yes. Yan Huang respectfully responded, and the two quickly arrived at the new cave. Next, it was time to recuperate. Even though Qing Su seemed to be recovering faster than Blazing Glory, he still had not gained complete control over the Sword of Sun after all. In the final moment, he lost control of his power and exploded, so his internal injuries were even worse than Blazing Glory's. Even with the third step recovery ability, he still needed 10 whole days to recover. As Tsinghui's injuries recovered, he had a new understanding of the transformation of his blood, qi, and zhen qi because of the sacred art and the bloody battle with Yan Huang. Seeing that it was impossible to push his attributes to the 29th rank in a short period of time, coupled with the dangers of the battle with Yan Huang, he no longer hesitated. Protect me. Tsinghui ordered Yan Huang. After Yan Huang respectfully responded and returned to the cave entrance, the blood and qi in his body had already surged crazily. According to the Torch Sun Sutra's refining void and returning to reality method, it was constantly compressing towards his dantian. Changing void and reality, refining void and returning to reality. The rank 3 recovery ability gave him a strong physique, so he was not afraid of squeezing his potential. The blood and qi in his body surged and boiled compress, compress, and compress again. Condense, condense, and condense again. Finally, as the first blood and qi was completely condensed and turned into zhen qi, his whole body seemed to have caused a kind of quantitative change to a qualitative change. His blood and qi were all turned into zhen qi, wantonly surging in his meridians and acupoints. Zhen qi, success. The moment the zhen qi was condensed, Tsinghui had already circulated one of them and condensed it at his fingertip. Feeling the blazing aura contained in this zhen qi, there was a trace of gratification in his eyes. Peerless grade. At least he did not destroy a good divine beast bloodline. In fact, the majestic blood and qi brought about by the 26th attribute was already enough for a cultivator to cultivate peerless grade zhen qi. It was just that Xing Hui only had an ordinary divine cannon in his hands. In order to ensure that nothing went wrong, he chose the fourth stage of liberation. Fortunately, the final result did not disappoint him. Congratulations, Master, on stepping into the realm of Jin Qi and cultivating divine-grade Jin Qi. Yan Huang, who was at the entrance of the cave, saw the extremely condensed Jin Qi at Xing Hui's fingertip and immediately bowed to congratulate him. His eyes were filled with envy. As early as when Xing Hui defeated him with the help of the divine technique, he faintly sensed that Xing Hui had most likely awakened a divine beast bloodline. Now it seems it was indeed so. The realm of Jin Qi is only the second stage of immortal life. It is still very far from stepping into the realm of strong cultivators. Master has cultivated divine-grade Jin Qi. Once the Jin Qi is formed, I'm afraid it is enough to stand shoulder to shoulder with ordinary spirit-refining cultivators. If you use the divine technique at the crucial moment, you might even have the strength to fight against the overlords of the spirit and Qi unity realm who are qualified to be elders of the 10 great sections. Xing Hui shook his head. Which spirit and Qi unity realm cultivator did not have 1 or 2 rank for divine weapons? Perhaps if other factors were to be disregarded, he would not be afraid of those overlords of the spirit and Qi unity realm who had cultivated ordinary earth Qi. However, if he were to fight against the elders of the 10 great sects, he would still be lacking. Once the Jin Qi was formed, his cultivation would naturally be consolidated. Xing Hui followed the cultivation method of the Scarlet Yang Jin Qi in the Torch Sun Sutra. Every day, he swallowed the Sun True Essence at noon, continuously refining and polishing it, causing the Scarlet Yang Jin Qi to become more blazing and violent. Once the Scarlet Yang Jin Qi entered the body, not only would it burn like a raging fire, it could also be detonated with a thought, causing the target to be blasted into nothingness. 10 days passed in the blink of an eye. After stabilizing his Jin Qi, Xing Hui walked out of the cave and took out the Tai sword. With a shake of the sword Qi shot out. However, before this burst of sword Qi could tear the ancient tree in front of him into pieces, his left arm had already reached out with his bare hands. Wrapped in crimson yang genuine Qi, he actually used his flesh and blood to grab this fierce sword Qi and crushed it in one fell swoop. After a moment, he casually flipped his hand and a rank 1 divine weapon from the Dragon Spring Mansion appeared in his hand. ZZ. As the Scarlet Yang Jin Qi surged out of his palm, this rank 1 divine weapon that could destroy metal like mud was actually burned into molten iron by the blazing power of the Scarlet Yang Jin Qi. The Scarlet Yang Jin Qi is really domineering. Xing Hui casually threw this divine weapon into his personal storage and glanced at his own attributes. Attack level 34, defense level 30, speed level 31, spirit level 45. Even though the Torch Dragon was a mysterious divine beast and would have mysterious and unfathomable powers in the later stages, under the influence of the Golden Crow divine beast's bloodline, his Jin Qi gradually showed signs of being biased. Fortunately, compared to the extreme speed-type divine beast Kuan Peng and the defensive-type divine beast Hun Dun, the bias of these 3 attributes was not too exaggerated. Chapter 76. I've already reached the true energy realm with the Illuminating Sun Sutra, but I haven't obtained the cultivation method of the Golden Crow bloodline. If I can activate the power of the Golden Crow bloodline and refine my true energy, with the power of the Sun Primordial Flame, I dare not say anything else, but my attack value will increase by at least 2 to 3 levels. Fortunately, the Illuminating Sun Sutra was relatively mysterious, peaceful, and not very aggressive. If he had cultivated the Golden Crow bloodline to the true energy realm, Xing Hui estimated that his Illuminating Dragon bloodline would have been devoured by the Golden Crow bloodline, and cultivating 2 bloodlines at the same time would have become a joke. I have to find a cultivation method of the Golden Crow bloodline as soon as possible. Compared to the mysterious Illuminating Dragon bloodline, the Golden Crow bloodline is easier to find. The most obvious target is the Jin Wu religion. The Jin Wu religion's ultimate cultivation method is the Great Sun Golden Crow technique, a godly cultivation method. Considering that he had used up all the resources he had prepared, Xing Hui said to Yan Huang, "Let's leave the Yunhuang mountain range." "Yes. How much do you know about the Jin Wu religion?" The Jin Wu religion is one of the 10 great holy clans. Although they don't have any saint-level figures who have reached the immortal stage 6, this sect has a very deep foundation. Furthermore, I can be sure that this sect definitely has a level 10 son of chaos who has reached the immortal stage 6. Yan Huang said. Immortal stage 6, level 10 son of chaos, there was no need to elaborate on what this combination meant. In fact, the reason why the sacred grounds are called sacred grounds is because they have saints in their sections. For example, the Wanxiang City, the Heavenly Medicine Alliance, and the Alchemy Valley also have immortality level 6 experts. They are independent of the 10 great sacred clans, but they still have to endure the exploitation of the 10 great sacred clans because their sects do not have immortality level 6 experts. Xing Hui had heard of Wanxiang City, Heavenly Medicine Alliance, and Alchemy Valley. They were famous top forces in the Eastern Wilderness, second only to the 10 great holy clans. I want to obtain the Great Sun Golden Crow technique, do you have a way? The Sun Golden Crow skill is the most important skill of the Jin Wu religion. Usually, only the disciples of the hierarch, the deputy hierarch, and the Dharma king are qualified to practice it. As for the ordinary disciples, they don't even think about it. Even the disciples of the hierarch and the Dharma king are only taught one level at a time. They will never teach them all the cultivation skills of the 6 realms of immortality in one go. Every person who is qualified to practice the Sun Golden Crow skill must have awakened the bloodline of the top sacred beasts. Only in this way can the cultivation of the Sun Golden Crow skill not waste resources. Amulet. Seal one's true chi and earth chi in the jade talisman, and use it to defend at the crucial moment. It's not that simple. Master should know that the true chi and earth chi of the spirit chi unite realm have spirituality. They can defend and attack on their own. However, due to the distance and the quality of the jade talisman, the spirituality of the true chi is only comparable to that of a spirit refining realm cultivator. But in the Qingming realm, after comprehending the intersection of heaven and man, the remaining true chi in the jade talisman can absorb the energy of heaven and earth to replenish itself. Depending on the quality of the jade talisman, it can even simulate 1/10 of the power of the talisman maker. In other words, if a peak Qingming realm cultivator makes a talisman, the power it can unleash is equivalent to that of an initial stage Qingming realm cultivator. Initial stage Qingming realm, the power in the jade talisman can only unleash a single attack. Even the Dharma king, the deputy hierarch, and the deputy hierarch of the 10 great holy clans, as their cultivation increases, their divine beast bloodline may only be able to cultivate high-grade true chi, and the high-grade true chi will fall to mid-grade earth chi by the time they reach the Qingming realm. Less than 1/10 of them can maintain the might of the sacred beasts. But even so, even 1/10 of their power was still far from something he could block with his current strength. Either he can obtain a rank 6 defensive armor, or he can step into the spirit refining realm with divine grade earth chi, and with the help of the sacred technique. Although the Torch Sun Sutra is relatively mild, once he breaks through to the spirit refining realm, the 2 suns will lose balance and will inevitably devour the Golden Crow. Does Luli Island have spies in the Jin Wu religion? The overseas forces have many spies in the 10 great holy clans, in case the 10 great holy clans make a move. Yan Huang carefully asked, "Does Master want to find a suitable target?" "That's right." Xing Hui nodded, "Let the spies in the Jin Wu religion find a suitable person. This is easy, there will be news soon." Xing Hui's gaze fell on Yan Huang. "You have obtained the inheritance of 2 Qingming realm experts, so you should have a lot of good things on you. I need a divine weapon, take it out." Yan Huang had already made similar preparations in his heart, and immediately said, "One of the 2 Qingming realm experts I obtained is a sword user, but I did not open my personal space, and I left all those precious things in a secret place overseas. If Master needs them, I'm afraid you'll have to follow me overseas." "You did not open your personal space?" how did you arrange this rank 8 Son of Primal Chaos? I have a rank 2 recovery characteristic, rank 4 comprehension, rank 1 fist art talent, and rank 1 advanced technique. Rank 4 comprehension. Xing Hui did not expect Yan Huang to put half of his points into comprehension. My original plan was to be good at everything, so I chose to focus on comprehension. The recovery characteristic was because I was injured too heavily and was afraid of leaving behind hidden injuries, so I had no choice but to raise it to rank 2. If not for that, I am afraid that my comprehension would have reached rank 5. Yan Huang's words made Xing Hui nod secretly. As a rank 15 Son of Primal Chaos, many things seem to be a waste. For example, Divine Skill and Rank Advancement Skill, there was no need for Rank 2 Divine Skill and Rank 1 Advancement Skill. The 2 Chaos ranks that were freed up could be used on his comprehension and talent in swordsmanship. Unfortunately, there was no medicine for regret in this world. Alright, then let's go overseas, but before that, let's go to Eastern Cloud Capital. Yes. Immediately, the two of them flew up and headed out of the desolate Cloud Mountain range. After running for a while, he seemed to have thought of something, and said to Yan Huang, "Go at full speed, we will meet at the east gate of Eastern Cloud Capital." With that, he pointed his finger, and the Qingxian sword whistled out. As Xing Hui leaped, he stepped onto the Qingxian sword, which had recovered its spirituality. Then, he activated his true qi and accelerated at full speed, piercing through the clouds and into the Qingming realm. Seeing this, Yan Huang's eyes were filled with envy. He had obtained the treasures left behind by the two Qingming realm experts, but their flying swords were damaged. In addition, flying swords were precious, so he had not been able to buy them until now. Rumble. The air exploded, and Xing Hui's sword kinesis flight broke the sound barrier. 350 km per hour, 360 km per hour, 380 km per hour, 400 km per hour, 420 km per hour, cultivating true qi and not cultivating true qi were two different concepts. The sword kinesis flight, which could only reach 300 km per hour, was easily broken by him, reaching 450 km per hour flying at supersonic speed. Under normal circumstances, he could even maintain a speed between 300 km per hour to 350 km per hour. It was not an exaggeration to say that this speed was as fast as lightning. Xing Hui soared through the sky with his sword kinesis flight, crossing the sea of clouds. Looking at the blazing sun above his head, an unprecedented sense of pride welled up in his heart. Compared to heaven and earth, the lives of humans were too insignificant. However, there would be a day when he would conquer the entire heaven and earth bit by bit, step by step, and see clearly what this heaven and earth, this world, was like. Just as Xing Hui soared through the sky with his sword kinesis flight, a violent roar came from afar, as if exploding at the end of the sky. Xing Hui looked as far as his eyes could see, and saw 4 flying ships engaged in a fierce exchange of fire in the void more than 10 kilometers away. Blazing cannonballs were fired from 3 flying ships. No. It should be a warship. Moreover, this was a 2-on-1 battle. Cannonballs and energy cannons were fired from 2 of the warships, hitting the body of the warship and exploding. Even though the warship tried its best to defend and dodge, it was still on the verge of collapse. A large amount of flames and smoke filled the warship, as if it would completely disintegrate in the void and fall to the ground in the next moment. This kind of aerial battle, which was similar to that of the 19th century on Earth, aroused Xing Hui's curiosity. He could not help but soar into the sky and watch from afar. However, when he saw the familiar flag hanging on the battleship that was being surrounded, his heart skipped a beat. That flag, it seemed to be the flag of Dragon Chant Island. And the owner of Divine Armament Tower, Xian Long, he was from Dragon Chant Island. Dragon Chant Island's warship has appeared here, considering that Xian Long had been cautious and conscientious in handling matters for him during this period. Xing Hui immediately mounted his sword and rapidly flew toward the 3 warships. As his figure approached, 2 of the warships clearly sensed his presence. Immediately, someone on the deck waved a flag and asked him to temporarily avoid them. A person who could use a flying sword must have an extraordinary background. However, Tsing Hui came to save Dragon Chant Island's warship, so he naturally ignored them and landed on one of the warships. Then, the Tai sword vibrated, and before the three experts of the genuine energy realm could speak, it had already shot toward them. Damn it, the leading experts of the genuine energy realm roared angrily, and similarly shot out sword chi and held their divine weapons in a futile attempt to counterattack. However, in front of Tsing Hui's Crimson Yang genuine energy, the sword chi they shot out was like tofu, and was easily defeated. The sword chi that burst out continued to shoot toward the expert of the genuine energy realm. What a tyrannical genuine energy! That expert of the genuine energy realm reacted quickly, and his genuine energy burst forth at the first moment, blocking with his sword. However, divine grade genuine energy was much stronger than ordinary genuine energy. Even though that expert of the genuine energy realm made a defensive posture with his sword, he was still instantly pierced through by the Crimson Yang genuine energy, and died on the spot. This scene fell into the eyes of the remaining two experts of the genuine energy realm, and made them widen their eyes. This power. Could it be the Golden Crow genuine energy? You're from the Jin Wu religion. Sir, from the Jin Wu religion, our Black Dragon gang has no enmity with the Jin Wu religion. Why do you want to kill us? A knowledgeable expert of the genuine energy realm couldn't help but cry out in horror. Black Dragon gang. It seemed to be a mercenary organization. Tsing Hui didn't answer. Sword chi shot out in all directions, and in an instant, all three experts of the genuine energy realm were killed. Then, he killed his way into the interior of the warship and destroyed the warship's power system, causing the warship to rapidly fall to the ground. After destroying this warship, Tsing Hui turned around, rose on his sword again, and shot toward another warship. Chapter 77. Oh no, he's coming. Crossbows. Fire. Fire. When they saw Qing Su fly over, the two true Qi cultivators on the other battleship immediately cried out as they understood that Qing Su had come with ill intentions. A large number of arrows and ballistae shot out from the battleship, forming a small dark cloud that enveloped the area. In the face of these powerful arrows that could penetrate iron armor, Tsing Hui pressed his hand down. A blazing true energy turned into 4 fiery red sword chis in front of him, constantly strangling him. All the arrows that were shot at him were shattered before they could come within 1 meter of him. Withstanding the rain of arrows, he directly landed on the warship and immediately rushed to the true energy realm leader. Our Black Dragon gang was invited by Hunyuan Heaven Sect's Fairy Bai Yu to do something. You, a disciple of the Jin Wu religion, dared to go against a true disciple of Hunyuan Heaven Sect in the territory of Hunyuan Heaven Sect. Fairy Bai Yu will never let you go. The true energy realm leader knew that he was no match for Tsing Hui, so he immediately shouted fiercely. Bai Yu? You're courting death. Tsing Hui's expression turned cold. The next moment, his figure suddenly pounced. Red Yang true energy erupted. No matter how hard the true energy realm expert tried to resist, he was still penetrated by the overbearing and blazing red Yang true energy and died on the spot. Then, under the miserable screams of the other members of the Black Dragon gang on the warship, he did the same thing and once again killed his way to the power system. He destroyed the power system of the warship and let it fall to the ground. After doing all this, Tsing Hui flew up on his sword again and landed on the warship with the flag of Dragon Chant Island. As soon as Tsing Hui arrived, the 4 Awakening Realm experts on the warship came up to him at the same time and respectfully saluted. Thank you for your help, sir. Dragon Chant Island is very grateful. After saluting Tsing Hui, one of the Awakening Realm experts seemed to recognize him and cautiously asked in surprise, Sir, are you Prince Tsing Hui? Tsing Hui's gaze landed on the Awakening Realm cultivator. This Awakening Realm cultivator was not young, but he had an extraordinary temperament. After noticing Tsing Hui's gaze, he quickly introduced himself. I'm Jing Yun, one of Miss Nalan's followers. I'm Xinghui. Xinghui responded. Under the surprised gazes of the four, he turned his gaze to the remaining 3 awakening realm cultivators. After noticing that one of them was 60% similar to Exa and Long, he asked, "Are you the island master of Dragon Chant Island, Long Shao?" "That's me. My son has already met Prince Xinghui." Long Shao bowed respectfully to Xinghui. Not because of the kinship between Xinghui and Nalan Fei, but because of Xinghui's powerful strength when he easily killed his way into the 2 battleships and destroyed the 2 battleships despite the presence of several true Qi experts. How did Dragon Chant Island get together with Aunt Nalan's people? Long Shao and Jing Yun looked at each other. In the end, Jing Yun stepped forward and said, "Prince Xinghui should have been cultivating in the wilderness for the past few months. He should not have stepped into any of the 9 great nations of Eastern Cloud, right?" "That's right." Hearing Xinghui's words, Jing Yun glanced at him and said with a wry smile, "This matter started 8 months ago. 8 months ago, Prince Xinghui killed Fairy Baiyu's sister, young Master Long Quan, causing Fairy Baiyu to be furious and almost go crazy. She actually brought people to the Lorraine Kingdom and planned to massacre the Cloud Desolate City." Xinghui's expression turned slightly cold. Even though he didn't have much feelings for the Zhuo family of Cloud Desolate City, this body was still obtained from Chou Xinghui, and Chou Xinghui was a member of the Zhuo family. He naturally couldn't just watch as the Zhuo family was destroyed. Moreover, Fairy Baiyu wanted to massacre the Cloud Desolate City, so what did this have to do with him? And then, what happened to the Zhuo family of Cloud Desolate City? Fortunately, Princess Lan Yu understood the seriousness of the matter after young Master Long Quan died and immediately informed Miss Nalan of the matter. Miss Nalan knew Fairy Baiyu's character and led people to chase after her. Before Fairy Baiyu was about to massacre the Cloud Desolate City, she stopped her crazy actions. At this point, Jing Yun paused for a moment, and with a trace of resentment, he continued, "At that time, Miss Nalan and Fairy Baiyu had a great battle. Although Fairy Baiyu had already stepped into the spirit refining realm, she could only condense a mid-grade spirit rank aura chi. Even though she had been in the spirit refining realm for many years, she was still not Miss Nalan's opponent and was defeated by Miss Nalan. However, because of this battle, Fairy Baiyu completely shed all pretense of cordiality. He dealt with all the forces related to me." "Yes." Xinghui glanced at Long Shao. "Is Dragon Chant Island also included?" "Yes." "Very good." Xinghui asked, "Where is she now?" Jing Yun was slightly startled and had a bad premonition. "Prince Xinghui, what are you going to do?" "Prince Xinghui, what you need to do now is to go to the Lorraine Kingdom as soon as possible. Currently, Miss Nalan has brought everyone to the Lorraine Kingdom and is personally overseeing the battle with Fairy Baiyu." Long Shao echoed from the side. The 5 true Qi realm experts of the Black Dragon Guild were instructed by Fairy Baiyu to destroy our Dragon Chant Island. Fortunately, Mr. Jing Yun led a few experts to come to our aid at the critical moment. Otherwise, I'm afraid our Dragon Chant Island would have been flooded with blood. At this point, he quickly added, "Of course, we have to thank Prince Xinghui for taking action. If not for Prince Xinghui, even if we could escape Dragon Chant Island, under the pursuit of the Black Dragon Guild's 2 warships, it would be difficult to escape the fate of death." Lorraine Kingdom. Xinghui turned to Jing Yun. "Auntie Nalan can't do anything to Baiyu?" Although Baiyu is powerful and has as many experts as the clouds under her, Miss Nalan's Saint-grade aura chi is extremely fierce. Ordinary spirit refining experts are no match for her. If it were a life-and-death battle, Miss Nalan could kill her by decapitation. However, the 2 of them are Hunyuan Heaven Sect's true disciples after all. Moreover, they have cultivated to the spirit refining realm, which is enough to represent Hunyuan Heaven Sect's face. If they were to abandon everything and fight to the death, what would it be? Wouldn't it be a joke to the other forces in the world? Therefore, Peak Master Yuan Kong has said that Miss Nalan and Baiyu cannot directly take action and can only let their subordinates fight to the death. The time limit is 1 year. After 1 year, regardless of the result, the grudges between the two will be written off. Letting his subordinates fight to the death, Hunyuan Heaven Sect's peak master Yuan Kong is obviously on Baiyu's side. Although Naylan Fei has stepped into the spirit refining realm and cultivated saint-grade aura qi, she has just stepped into the spirit refining realm and has yet to manage her own forces. Her subordinates are most likely in the awakening realm and true qi realm. Being able to recruit 1 or 2 spirit refining realm cultivators is the limit. But Baiyu, not to mention that she has stepped into the spirit refining realm for many years, she has always been the peak master Yuan Kong's right-hand man. She can often borrow the peak master Yuan Kong's name to intimidate others. The forces she can recruit are far from what Naylan Fei can compare to. Just like the Black Dragon Society, 5 true Qi realm cultivators, this force is enough to threaten the Luo Lin royal family's rule. Fairy Baiyu has followed Sky Origin Peak Lord for dozens of years and has always been loyal to him. Even if Sky Origin Peak Lord is biased towards her, he can't do anything about it. Fortunately, Miss Naylan is not without any power behind her. This time, in order to protect the Zhuo family, Miss Naylan specially invited 3 spirit refining elders from the Naylan family. These 3 elders are stationed in the Luo Lin capital. As long as we can escape back to the capital, Fairy Baiyu's people will not dare to take another step forward. As Jing Yun spoke, he turned to Tsing Hui and said, "The one Fairy Baiyu wants to kill the most is you, Prince Tsing Hui." Once Prince Tsing Hui is exposed, Baiyu will definitely take revenge. Thus, for the sake of safety, we should return to the Luo Lin royal capital as soon as possible. Luo Lin royal capital, Baiyu is a direct disciple of the Hunyuan Heaven sect. Naylan Fei is also a member of the Hunyuan Heaven sect and is also under the peak master Yuan Kong's control. Baiyu cannot kill her. But Naylan Fei cannot, but he, Tsing Hui, can. However, killing Long Quan had led to trouble like Baiyu. If killing Baiyu led to even greater trouble, even involving the Zhuo family of Cloud Desolate City, Qing Su would feel rather apologetic. He still had to ask about it first. "I'll go see Auntie Naylan." Prince Tsing Hui should indeed return immediately to avoid causing more trouble. "We should hurry to the Luo Lin royal capital," Jing Yun said. Tsing Hui glanced at Jing Yun. He could see the dissatisfaction in the heart of this follower of Naylan Fei. He reckoned that it wasn't just him. After causing such a big trouble, it was reckoned that everyone under Naylan Fei's tutelage had complaints about him. The group boarded the warship and headed straight for the Luo Lin royal capital. On the way to the Luo Lin royal capital, Tsing Hui sent a portion of his consciousness into the Chaos Temple and found Yan Huang, who was inquiring about the Jin Wu religion's whereabouts through the Heaven's Secret Pavilion. Seeing Tsing Hui, Yan Huang followed his previous instructions and nodded on the surface before continuing to talk with Heaven's Inquisition. After the two finished talking, they found Tsing Hui again. The two left Ling use personal space, and then Tsing Hui used the power of his personal space to pull Yan Huang into his personal space. "I haven't set up the space yet." "Do as you wish," Tsing Hui said. Yan Huang looked around with envy. The personal space is indeed very convenient. "Unfortunately, I didn't understand the importance of the personal space and didn't point it out." "You're heading to the Eastern Cloud Royal Capital now?" "Yes." "Don't wait for me when you reach the Eastern Cloud Royal Capital. Take the flying ship directly to the Luo Lin Royal Capital." Yan Huang didn't understand, but he didn't dare to go against Tsing Hui's words. "Yes." "Did you just inquire about the Jin Wu religion?" "Yes, in the Golden Crow sect, there are a total of 13 people who have cultivated the Great Sun Golden Crow technique. Of course, this is the data that we have inquired about. For a sect like this, there are bound to be hidden experts among the 13. There are 6 who have cultivated the third layer technique and 3 who are not. If Master needs the Great Sun Golden Crow technique, these 3 can be our targets." "Tell me." "These 3 are the disciple of the Jin Wu religion's vice leader Luo Rieo, Xian Yan, the daughter of burning heaven Dharma king Lai Ji, Lai Wuyang, and one of the 6 disciples of the Jin Wu religion's leader Zhu Xian, Qi Wu. Vice leader, Dharma king, leader. Needless to say, the vice leader and Dharma king were the top figures in the immortal realm 5. As for the leader Zhu Xian, he was definitely at the peak of the immortal realm 6. This was common knowledge. If one wasn't at the peak of the immortal realm, one wouldn't be qualified to be the leader of the 10 sacred sections. Excluding the leader's disciple Qi Wu, the target is either Xian Yan or Lai Wuyang. Gather information on them, the more detailed the better. Yes. Chapter 78. The Lorraine Royal Capital. At this time, the Lorraine Royal Capital could be described as turbulent. Not to mention the second-class forces such as Ying Yuan, the Cloud Forest House, and the Beast Hunters Union. Even the Lorraine royal family restrained their sharpness and reprimanded their children not to wantonly show off in the royal capital. The entire royal capital was shrouded in an oppressive atmosphere because of the battle between Nayland Fei and Fairy Bayou. The city gates, the airport, and the main streets were filled with the subordinates, spies, and spies of the 2 Hunyuan Heaven sect true disciples. Awakening stage and True Chi stage experts shuttled back and forth in the royal capital, looking for opportunities to weaken their opponents. At this moment, the 2 Hunyuan Heaven sect true disciples exerted their influence to the extreme. Even if only the tip of the iceberg was revealed, it was enough to make many princes and first-class forces of the Lorraine kingdom tremble with fear. Under such circumstances, the severely damaged warshipped Xing Hui, Long Shao, Jing Yun, and the others landed in the airport of the Lorraine royal capital and naturally attracted everyone's attention. Are they from Dragon Chant Island? A small force like Dragon Chant Island dares to intervene in a battle of this level. Aren't they afraid of being crushed to pieces? It's not up to them. The son of Dragon Chant Island's master, Long Shao, has sided with Chou Xing Hui, and Chou Xing Hui is the target that Fairy Bayou wants to kill the most. Chou Xing Hui caused a disaster and directly fled like a tortoise, leaving all the trouble to Miss Nayland and his friends. Fairy Bayou can't catch him, so she can only vent her anger on the people related to him. Hey, as early as when Chou Xing Hui was in the royal capital, I saw that Chou Xing Hui was simply a troublemaker. The Beast Hunters Union and the Third Prince's residence were the same. Now that he provoked someone he can't afford to offend, I'd like to see how he's going to deal with it. What do you mean he's going to deal with it? He's going to continue to be a tortoise. Hasn't he been hiding for more than half a year? I think he's going to keep hiding. Isn't that so? Watching the warship belonging to Dragon Chant Island descend, many forces who were waiting to watch a good show began to discuss among themselves. Some of the spectators belonged to the local forces of the Lorraine Kingdom, but there were also many spies representing other true disciples of the Hunyuan Heaven sect. There were even spies from other sacred sects who specialized in collecting information about the Hunyuan Heaven sect's true disciples. These people were well informed. In the past half a year, they had already thoroughly investigated the grudges between the 2 true disciples of the Hunyuan Heaven sect. Right then, an expert of the Union of Demon Hunters, who had been paying attention to the passers-by in the airport, suddenly widened his eyes. Looking at Xing Hui, who was walking to the airport side by side with Long Shao, Jing Yun, and the other Awakening Realm experts, he exclaimed, "That's Chou Xing Hui. It's Chou Xing Hui. It's really Chou Xing Hui. I've seen him before. He actually appeared. Chou Xing Hui. It's really him." It's said that Chou Xing Hui's cultivation is only in the Awakening Realm, and it hasn't been long since he awakened, but Bayou offered a rank 4 divine weapon as a reward for killing him. Many spirit-refining realm rogue cultivators and giant demons are searching for his whereabouts, vainly trying to kill him and obtain the reward. Amidst the exclamations, everyone's gaze fell on Xing Hui at the same time. Among them, a few old men with true Qi realm cultivation were even brighter. While staring at Xing Hui, their gazes constantly scanned the surroundings, as if they were about to attack and kill Xing Hui. However, at this time, a group of people who had already received the news quickly greeted Long Xiao, Jing Yun, Xing Hui, and the others. The leader had reached the advanced stage of the true Qi realm. Cho Xing Hui. The advanced stage true Qi realm old man looked at Xing Hui with some repulsion. After seeing that he seemed to have reached the true Qi realm, a faint trace of surprise flashed across his face. He nodded and said in a deep voice, "Young miss is waiting for you in the courtyard. Follow us." This brat is Cho Xing Hui. A guy who only knows how to stir up trouble. Behind the old man, a relatively young man directly vented his dissatisfaction and said sternly, "Do you know how many losses we've suffered because of you, Yu Yang? Shut up." The old man reprimanded the young man. Perhaps Xing Hui's ability to stir up trouble is extraordinary, but he has a talent that is worth young miss trying her best to protect. After hearing the old man's words, Yu Yang seemed to have seen Xing Hui's cultivation clearly. He immediately revealed a shocked expression. You've cultivated true Qi. How is that possible? Didn't you just reach the awakening realm half a year ago? True Qi. Hearing Yu Yang's words, the other experts who were also scowling at Xing Hui also revealed shocked expressions. Not only has young Master Qing Su cultivated true Qi, but when we were surrounded by the 5 true Qi experts of the Black Dragon Guild, he even flew on his sword and killed his way into 2 of their battleships. He killed all of their 5-colored dragon kings and saved our lives, Qing Su said with a smile. Jing Yun said in a deep voice. Hiss. 5-colored dragon kings. The 5-colored dragon kings of the Black Dragon Guild are all true Qi realm experts. He actually killed all 5 of them by himself. How is that possible? Didn't you hear that he flew on his sword? It can be seen that he must have all kinds of divine weapons in his hands, but divine weapons have always been a part of his strength. Even if Cho Xing Hui relied on divine weapons to kill the 5 true Qi realm experts, this kind of achievement is still comparable to most of the veteran true Qi realm experts. This world had always been one where the strong reigned supreme. After learning that Qing Su was a true Qi cultivator, the voices of these people had already quieted down. After learning from Jing Yun that Qing Su had actually killed 5 true Qi cultivators of the Black Dragon Association with a single stroke of his sword, their gazes towards him had completely changed. They no longer treated him coldly like before. The old man glanced at the many experts around and whispered, "Let's leave here first and go to Miss Courtyard." Immediately, the group quickly left. Although there were many true Qi realm experts peeping at them on the way, their lineup was too strong. For true Qi realm experts and 6 awakening realm experts, a total of 10 people. Ordinary true Qi realm experts would not dare to act rashly if they were not confident. As for those spirit refining realm cultivators, they did not react at all because Xing Hui came in a hurry. Along the way, the group safely stepped into Nalan Fei's courtyard. There are really a lot of monsters and monsters. Long Xiao sighed. Along the way, he was really trembling with fear. Some of these people are Fairy Baiyu's subordinates, but most of them were attracted by Fairy Baiyu's bounty. After all, a Tier 4 divine weapon is too attractive to spirit refining cultivators. If not for the fact that non-Huanyuan Heaven Sect Spirit Qi Unity cultivators would be given special treatment upon entering Huanyuan Heaven Sect's territory, even Spirit Qi Unity cultivators would not be able to resist taking action. The old man in the lead said. "Are there any experts?" Xing Hui asked. Of course, there are experts. However, the ones that can be said to be the greatest threat to Miss and all of us are the 6 spirit refining realm experts. Tell me. The old man glanced at Xing Hui and said in a deep voice, "The 6 spirit refining realm experts are Music Sage Chao Zhendao, Flying Deity Bat Yi Shui Han, Sly Assassin Tu Ying, Mirror Immortal Wang Zhe, Poison Gentleman Tong Buping, and God Beheading Sword Situ Qiushui." Among these 6, Music Sage Chao Zhendao and Mirror Immortal Wang Zhe are Fairy Baiyu's direct subordinates. The other 4 were attracted by the rank 4 divine weapon. 6 spirit refining realm experts. Who would have thought that the battle between Nalan Fei and Fairy Bayou would involve so many spirit refining realm experts? In fact, this is not all. Fairy Bayou herself and 2 other spirit refining realm experts under her, Scarlet Flame Fairy Tsang Shua and Dragon Monarch Zhang Jiuxiao. These 2 are the reason why Fairy Bayou dares to fight Miss Nalan. N. Dragon Monarch Zhang Jiuxiao is a peak cultivator who has awakened the White Tiger's bloodline. Although he did not manage to condense holy grade aura chi, under constant polishing, his aura chi is at the peak of spirit grade. As for Scarlet Flame Fairy Tsang Shue, she is a famous cultivator who has been immersed in the spirit refining realm for many years. In the past few decades, the number of spirit refining cultivators who died in her hands is no less than 10. Countless fresh blood accumulated to form the name Scarlet Flame Fairy. Xing Hui nodded. Thinking about it, after killing Scarlet Flame Fairy, Dragon Monarch, Mirror Immortal, and Music Sage, Bayou would be like a tiger without its teeth. Even if she had more true chi experts under her, she would not be able to be arrogant anymore. If this still could not solve the problem once and for all, it was no wonder that he killed Fairy Bayou. That is Chou Xinghui. Chou Xinghui. That troublemaker. Damn it, if not for him, our Zhuo family would not have fallen to such a state. Not only do we have to be on guard against assassins, we don't even dare to step out of the door. Once we do, we will undoubtedly die. Shu, lower your voice. I heard that Chou Xinghui obtained some kind of opportunity and actually awakened his bloodline and stepped into the immortal realm. If he hears you, you are finished. As Tsing Hui's group stepped into the courtyard, many Zhuo family members of Cloud Desolate City sized him up, their gazes faintly carrying resentment, fear, and jealousy. However, Tsing Hui did not pay them any attention. He had no feelings for the Zhuo family. If he had to talk about feelings, it was at most the karma owed by Chou Tsing Hui's body. Thus, other than Chou Tsing Hui's immediate family, he turned a blind eye to the gazes of others. Tsing Hui, at this moment, a pleasantly surprised shout was heard. Zhuo Yunqing, who had reached the blood-changing stage, happily welcomed him. Tsing Hui nodded at her. Have you been all right all this time? Did Bayou's subordinates find you? Miss Yunqing, Miss Nalan is waiting for Prince Tsing Hui, please, an old man reminded her in a low voice. Oh. Yes. Tsing Hui, let's go see Aunt Nalan. Zhuo Yunqing impatiently pulled Tsing Hui into the inner courtyard. But just as they were about to step into the inner courtyard, an old man exuding a faint pressure stepped out of the courtyard and coldly stared at Tsing Hui. You are that Chou Tsing Hui who doesn't know what's good for him and dares to look down on even the Hunyuan Heaven sect's true disciples. Chapter 79. Elder Nalan Sheng. Seeing this person, the old man in charge of leading the way hurriedly bowed respectfully. At the same time, he introduced for Tsing Hui, this is Nalan Sheng, an elder from the Nalan family like Miss Nalan. After speaking, he hurriedly introduced for Nalan Sheng, Elder Nalan, this is indeed Prince Tsing Hui. However, although Prince Tsing Hui is a little impulsive, his cultivation talent does allow him to disregard the ordinary true disciples of the Hunyuan Heaven sect. At the very least, the so-called young Master Long Quan is far from being comparable to Prince Tsing Hui. Ha! When Nalan Sheng heard what the old man had said, he immediately stared at Qing Su and studied him closely. When he saw that he actually possessed true qi, he was immediately shocked. Why, you've actually cultivated true qi. Weren't you just a mortal at the marrow cleansing stage 2 years ago? How could you cultivate to the second stage of the immortality stage in just 2 years? Prince Tsing Hui is extremely talented, otherwise Miss Nalan wouldn't value him so much. She even asked for a disciple token that can directly enter the inner sect of the Hunyuan Heaven sect for him. Moreover, Prince Tsing Hui is not an ordinary true qi stage expert. Not long ago, Prince Tsing Hui fought the 5-colored dragon king of the Black Dragon Gang alone and wiped out the 5 true qi stage experts under Bayou. The old man repeated what he had heard from Jing Yun. For a moment, Nailan Sheng's gaze suddenly fell on him, his eyes flashing. Bai Lansheng, is what you said true? I secretly asked the other followers on the warship, and it's absolutely true. Bai Lansheng lowered his head slightly. Nailan Sheng understood Bai Lansheng's character. He knew that he would not make empty promises. Immediately, his cold gaze changed drastically. In order to resolve the awkwardness from before, he forced out a laugh. Ha, young man, if you don't have any ability and only know how to rely on others, you'll only be seeking your own death if you act recklessly. However, if you're brimming with talent, you obviously shouldn't stick to one pattern and do what others can't. What's a single jasper worth? Others might be afraid of her, but my Nailan family isn't. Come, nephew Qing Su, follow me into the courtyard. Xing Hui looked at Nailan Sheng. He didn't expect a person's attitude to change so quickly, and he even acted as if it was a matter of course. Elder Nailan Sheng, Miss is still waiting for Prince Xing Hui. Oh, I forgot about this matter. He just came back, so there are many things he doesn't understand. He really needs to see Fei, Nailan Sheng no longer insisted, instead turning to Xing Hui and saying in a forthright tone, Xing Hui, you can rest assured that with our Nailan family here, Bai Yu won't be able to play any tricks. As for your Zhuo family, you can also rest assured that the masters of my Nailan family will not let any harm come to them. Considering that the Nailan family had indeed contributed a lot in the past half a year, and Cho Xing Hui's body had given him a new lease of life, Xing Hui nodded slightly, many thanks. No need to be polite, our Nailan family and your Zhuo family are so fated, perhaps we were a family in our previous lives. Since we are family, there is no need to be so polite. As Nailan Sheng spoke, he waved his hand, and Bai Lansheng immediately withdrew, leading Xing Hui and Zhuo Yunqing into the inner courtyard. When the group stepped into the inner courtyard, Nailan Sheng made Yu Yang and Jing Yun stay behind with a glance, and said solemnly, tell me the specific details of how Xing Hui defeated the Black Dragon Gang's Penishade Dragon King, Nailan Fei. There was a vague image of her in Cho Xing Hui's memories. In terms of appearance, neither Princess Lan Yu nor Wu Yuyao could compare to her, especially the lonely snowy lotus aura that she carried, giving people a kind of elegant and refined beauty. Looking at her, it seemed that there was a kind of magic that could cleanse the soul, completely brushing away all the dust on one's body, making one's heart calm and trust in her. That kind of aura, it made Xing Hui faintly think of a peak warrior in the world of earth that he once saw from afar, Holy Buddha Mijia. Auntie, Xing Hui is here, he's fine. Zhuo Yunqing saw the woman in white in the hall, who seemed to be unfazed even if the sky collapsed, and immediately went forward with joy. Xing Hui. Nailan Fei looked at Xing Hui. This was the first time she saw Xing Hui in person in several years. She looked at Xing Hui for a while, then smiled slightly. A few years ago, I saw you as a little brat who only knew how to follow behind Erasure Yudo. I didn't expect that in just a few years, you would become so elegant. You don't have to worry about Biyu's matter, I understand the cause and effect of the whole matter. Long Quan didn't know what was good for him and was killed by you, so he deserved it. Leave the rest to me. This matter started because of me, I can't turn a blind eye to it. Oh. Nailan Fei looked at Xing Hui, but seeing that he didn't seem to be pretending, she nodded. A man should be indomitable. I'm happy for you that you can take on this responsibility, and I'm also happy for my brother that he has a successor. Since you plan to do your part in this battle, then follow me for the next few months. When the time comes, you will have the chance to act. Xing Hui pondered for a moment, then nodded slightly. I won't ask you how you were able to cultivate to the realm of true qi. Everyone has their own opportunities, but the cultivation of the immortality realm can't blindly pursue the realm. You have to accumulate to the peak of your original realm before breaking through. Otherwise, when you reach a higher realm, you will lack the strength to continue, and it will become extremely difficult to break through again. The realm barrier is like a dam. If you only accumulate the water of a small stream, you won't be able to do anything, but if your accumulated strength is like a torrential river, or a tsunami, any dam barrier will be like a child's play in front of you, it will collapse at once. I understand, before reaching the limit of the realm, I won't easily break through to a higher realm. Xing Hui nodded. In fact, the reason why he could easily awaken a second time and even refine his qi was because his accumulation was too strong. He broke through his limits again and again, causing his qi and blood foundation to be many times higher than ordinary blood-changing and awakening realm cultivators. Because of this, he was able to have a battle prowess not weaker than ordinary spirit-refining realm cultivators. This matter has been stirred up to this point, it's time to end it. I want to ask, if Biyu's death will bring you any trouble? Xing Hui said. Naylan Fei chuckled, although Biyu and I are direct disciples of the Sky Origin Peak Master, Biyu's potential has obviously been exhausted, and the spirit-refining realm is her limit. As for me, I have cultivated holy rank aura qi, and my future is limitless, with the hope of becoming the Peak Master's disciple. If Biyu dies, although the sect's higher-ups will punish me, these punishments are within the scope of what I can bear. Those palace masters and elders won't abandon me for a spirit-refining realm direct disciple who has exhausted her potential. Speaking till here, her tone slightly paused. Of course, Biyu's death can't be used against her, otherwise, the palace masters and elders will have to punish her severely to uphold the sect's rules. I understand. Xing Hui said, since killing her won't bring too much trouble, I'll deal with Biyu. Hearing Xing Hui's words, Naylan Fei shook her head. If I have enough reason to kill Biyu, I'll only receive some punishment. But you can't. You're not a direct disciple of the Hunyuan Heaven sect. In order to uphold the dignity of the sect's direct disciples, if you kill Biyu, the Hunyuan Heaven sect's law enforcement team will definitely take action. The law enforcement team is full of experts, and even I won't be able to fight against them. If I don't do it, someone else will. Hire someone else. This is a method, but once a spirit and Qi Unity Realm expert enters the Hunyuan Heaven sect's territory, it will definitely raise the Hunyuan Heaven sect's vigilance. Ordinary spirit refining realm experts may be able to defeat her, but they may not be able to kill her. Even if they can kill her, the Hunyuan Heaven sect will chase after them and make them a fugitive. Even if you offer a rank 4 divine weapon, no one will have the guts to accept the mission. Fugitive. Yan Huang was the master of the overseas colored glass island. Even if he was chased by the Hunyuan Heaven sect, as long as he hid overseas, the Hunyuan Heaven sect wouldn't be able to do anything. After all, apart from a few local cultivators, the majority of the overseas forces were forced to leave their homes and flee overseas due to the pressure of the 10 great sections. These cultivators were extremely hostile to the 10 great sections. How many of them were weak to be able to flee overseas under the pursuit of the 10 great sects? Unless the Hunyuan Heaven sect sent a Grand Elder or a Hall Master to hunt down Yan Huang, who had fled to Colored Glass Island, ordinary elders would die no matter how many of them they sent. The overlords of the overseas forces would definitely not be soft-hearted when killing the disciples of the 10 great sections. There are still 4 months until the 1-year deadline set by the Sky Origin Peak Master. At that time, no matter how unwilling Biyu is, she won't dare to pursue you on the surface. If she dares to secretly make a move, I will have enough reason to kill her on the spot. Therefore, you don't have to worry too much about this matter. Just focus on your cultivation. Naylan Fei looked at Xing Hui with praise in her eyes. I was a little disappointed when I heard that Erishur Yudo had cheated you of your disciple token, but I didn't expect that woman's matter to become the motivation for you to work harder. In addition, you're quite lucky to have obtained a high-quality saint technique, so you've achieved so much in just over a year. I have to thank that woman, Erishur Yudo. Erishur Yudo. At the mention of this name, Xing Hui furrowed his brows slightly. It wasn't that he had any thoughts about Erishur Yudo in his heart, but Cho Xing Hui's body still had the painful memories of what she had done to him. In addition, Yuan Yang had followed Erishur Yuto's orders to assassinate him. I have to settle this matter between her and me. Originally, I wanted to get rid of her while she was still an inner disciple, but when Lan Yu sent me a message saying that you've already reached the awakened realm and have astonishing battle strength, I left her behind and planned to let you deal with her personally. But you have to be quick. She awakened 4 months ago and became a true disciple. Moreover, this woman is very good at making friends with both sides. Relying on her identity and appearance as Elder Juri's disciple, she has already become friends with many true disciples. Don't let her make a name for herself when the time comes. I understand. Chapter 80. Xing Hui and Erisher Yudo chatted for a while before leaving. Zhuo Yunqing dragged him to the Zhuo family's courtyard. At this time, the Zhuo family members were under protection, and their living quarters were not large. The Zhuo family members, who usually lived like princes, often shared a room with 2 or 3 people. As a result, even the large courtyards were filled to the brim. Under such circumstances, Xing Hui's entry into the Zhuo family's courtyard was immediately noticed by the Zhuo family members. It's him. Cho Xing Hui, he still has the face to come back. Shoo, don't speak nonsense. Why can't I speak? If it wasn't for him, our Zhuo family wouldn't have fallen to such a state. We wouldn't have to live in fear all the time. Shut up. Cho Xing Hui has already broken through to the awakening realm. Do you think it's still the same as before? Moreover, Miss Naylan doesn't care much about the rest of the Zhuo family. Even if she wants to protect Zhuo Shiri's bloodline, if you anger Cho Xing Hui, even if he kills us, Miss Naylan won't say a word. Hiss, the news of him breaking through to the awakening realm is true. How can it be false? Let's go, don't be an eyesore here. As Xing Hui walked through the courtyard, his powerful hearing allowed him to hear the Zhuo family's discussion clearly. However, just like how Naylan Fei only cared about Zhuo Shiri's bloodline, Xing Hui did not care about the rest of the Zhuo family. Under Zhuo Yunqing's lead, they went straight to the residence of the patriarch, his father, Zhuo Shiri. However, just as the 2 of them stepped into Zhuo Shiri's courtyard, 4 people turned the corner and walked out of the courtyard. Of these 4 people, 2 were old and 2 were young. The 2 older ones were the Zhuo family's founding elders, Zhuo Fengshao and Zhuo Xingyun. The 2 younger ones were Zhuo Fengyun and Zhuo Xiangdong, who had a fierce conflict with Xing Hui and almost caused Xing Hui to be expelled from the Zhuo family. Upon seeing Xing Hui and Yunqing, Zhuo Fengshao, Zhuo Xingyun, Zhuo Fengyun, Zhuo Xiangdong, and the others were stunned for a moment before their expressions turned awkward. Yunqing. Ah. And Xing Hui, Zhuo Fengshao and Zhuo Xingyun forced a smile on their faces as they greeted, Are you here to look for the patriarch? Xing Hui ignored the 2 and looked at Zhuo Fengyun and Zhuo Xiangdong. Although the 2 of them did not know that Xing Hui had reached the 2nd level of the immortality stage, they knew that he had awakened his bloodline. They also knew that he had killed the president of the Demon Hunters Union, many experts from the 3rd prince's residence, and even young Master Longquan. Now that Xing Hui looked at them, the 2 of them thought that Xing Hui wanted to settle the score. They were so scared that their legs turned to jelly, and they immediately knelt down. Prince Xing Hui. We were wrong. Please forgive us this time. Cousin Xing Hui, we may have offended you in the past, but we were just playing around when we were young. Please forgive us, Cousin Xing Hui. Xing Hui glanced at Zhuo Fengyun and Zhuo Xiangdong, then at the frightened and reverent Zhuo Fengshao and Zhuo Xingyun. He said to Zhuo Yunqing, Are these 2 still the Zhuo family's founding members? Zhuo Yunqing did not know why Xing Hui asked this question. No wonder the Zhuo family has been unable to make a name for themselves for so many years. How can the entire family be united if these murderers can hold high positions in the family? Fortunately, I have already been expelled from the Zhuo family. Otherwise, the Zhuo family would have declined sooner or later even with Auntie Naylan's support. Xing Hui's words caused Zhuo Fengshao and Zhuo Xingyun's expressions to change drastically. At this time, 2 other founding members, Zhuo Xiaozi and Zhuo Feilong, walked out. When they heard Xing Hui's words, Zhuo Shaozi hurriedly said, Xing Hui, don't joke around. Although there are rumors that you have been expelled from the Zhuo family, this is only a joke. No one has the right to question the fact that you are a member of the Zhuo family. If you don't believe me, you can go and take a look. Your name is still clearly written in the Zhuo family's genealogy. Yes, yes, yes. Zhuo Feilong quickly agreed, Shaozi is right. Your father is the patriarch of the Zhuo family, and you are the only son of the patriarch. Not only are you a member of the Zhuo family, but you will also be the future successor of the patriarch. You will lead the Zhuo family to prosperity. Who would have the guts to expel you? Wouldn't that be dividing the Zhuo family? As he spoke, he was still quite nervous. As early as when Xing Hui had reached the awakening realm, the entire Zhuo family had held several meetings about him. Although the Zhuo family had some influence in the 100 Desolation City, it was only a second-rate family. It could not be compared to the Jin family, Feng family, or Fang family. It was precisely because of Nailan Fei's existence that the Zhuo family had risen to the top. Not only had they become one of the top families in the 100 Desolation City, but they also had abundant resources, causing the number of powerhouses in the family to increase exponentially. However, Nailan Fei was only the adopted daughter of the Zhuo family's patriarch. How could she compare to Xing Hui? Now that the patriarch's son, Chou Xing Hui, had stepped into the immortal realm, the Zhuo family's hope of soaring to the top was right in front of them. The Zhuo family had to grasp this opportunity no matter what. This was the unanimous decision of the entire Zhuo family after a discussion. Thinking of how important Xing Hui was to the Zhuo family, Zhuo Feilong could not care about anything else. He hurriedly said, Shaozi, I think what Xing Hui said just now makes sense. Our Zhuo family should really clean up the atmosphere. Those who have no ability but still sit in their positions should be expelled from the core circle of the Zhuo family. This matter should not be delayed. Let's hold a meeting immediately. Founding Elder Feilong is correct. The Zhuo family is no longer the small family it once was. It really does need to be cleaned up. Zhuo Shaozi understood what Zhuo Feilong meant. He hurriedly nodded in agreement. After saying that, he turned to Xing Hui and said, Xing Hui, you are the son of the patriarch of the Zhuo family and the future successor of the patriarch. In the future, the entire Zhuo family will be handed to you at the helm. Come and listen to this meeting and give us some suggestions. Xing Hui originally did not want to have too much to do with the Zhuo family. However, when he saw the joy in Zhuo Yunqing's eyes and thought about the fact that his body came from Zhuo Shiri's son, Chou Xing Hui, after a moment of silence, he finally said, let Yunqing listen. Her cultivation has already reached the blood transformation realm. She can be considered the strongest person in our Zhuo family. She has the qualifications. Just tell me the final result of the meeting. Zhuo Shaozi and Zhuo Feilong knew that they had to take things one step at a time. They nodded and said, very well. As Xing Hui said, we will go and inform the other founding elders. After saying that, the two of them glanced at the pale-faced Zhuo Xingyun and Zhuo Fengshao. I won't inform the rest of you. Make sure you don't miss out on the meeting. Zhuo Fengshao and Zhuo Xingyun exchanged glances. Their faces were gloomy. They understood that after the meeting, the days when they could act as they pleased with their status as founding elders of the Zhuo family would never return. When they thought about how all of this had happened because of Zhuo Fengyun and Zhuo Xiangdong, the two of them were furious. They grabbed the two of them and beat them viciously. As members of the Zhuo family, instead of working together, you bully your fellow clansmen. I'll beat the two of you to death. For a moment, Zhuo Fengyun and Zhuo Xiangdong screamed in agony. Zhuo Shaozi and Zhuo Feilong turned a blind eye to this scene and left. Xing Hui ignored the four of them and entered the courtyard with Zhuo Yunqing. With the arrival of Nailan Fei, Zhuo Shiri's life as the Zhuo family patriarch had become much more relaxed. Even in the face of a powerful enemy, his residence was still heavily guarded. There was even an old man in the true Qi realm who had been ordered to protect Zhuo Shiri. When he saw Tsing Hui arrive, the old man sized him up with a trace of surprise. Could you be Prince Tsing Hui? Didn't the rumors say that Prince Tsing Hui was only in the awakening realm? Why? That's news from almost a year ago. Naturally, I've made some progress in the past year. Tsing Hui nodded to the old man and entered the hall. Zhuo Shuri seemed to have heard Tsing Hui's voice and walked out of the hall. When he saw Tsing Hui and Zhuo Yunqing, a trace of excitement flashed in his eyes. After a while, he sighed and said, "Tsing Hui, you've suffered." Tsing Hui looked at Chou Tsing Hui. He naturally understood that Chou Tsing Hui loved his only son very much. Otherwise, he wouldn't have resisted the pressure of the entire family and secretly told him to hurry to the Hunyuan Heaven sect to seek refuge with Nailan Fei. However, his personality was clearly a little weak. Or rather, it could be said that he was overcautious and narrow-minded. As a patriarch, there were many things he couldn't make decisions on. "Father, Big Brother is back. He's already an immortality realm expert. With him around, you won't have to work so hard in the future," Zhuo Yunqing said happily. Tsing Hui nodded and looked at Zhuo Shuri. In fact, Zhuo Shuri couldn't be blamed for not being the patriarch. His bloodline was originally rather weak. Before he received the pills from Nailan Fei, the strongest person he had was only in the marrow-cleansing realm. Naturally, he couldn't compare to the other bloodlines that had viscera-refining experts. If it weren't for the fact that the other Zhuo family members wanted to curry favor with Nailan Fei, he wouldn't have been the patriarch. Due to his family background and various other reasons, he didn't have the boldness a patriarch should have. He was even almost forced by the grand elders to expel his only son from the family. Shaking his head, Tsing Hui also felt that Chou Tsing Hui's father was rather pitiful. It was easy to imagine how sullen his father must have felt when he was forced to make such a decision by the many grand elders. He no longer pursued the matter and directly said, "During my time away from home, I've come to understand something. In this world, the strong are respected. Take the Zhuo family as an example. If you want to manage the Zhuo family well, you must first have the power to convince everyone. In the past, your power came from Nailan Fei, but she was far away in the Hunyuan Heaven sect. It would take more than a month for her to travel back and forth. In addition, you didn't want to trouble her with such trivial matters. This allowed the Zhuo family grand elders to see that you were weak and easily bullied. But now..." Tsing Hui's straightforward words made Zhuo Shuri secretly feel guilty. When he heard this, his eyes immediately lit up. "Tsing Hui, are you willing to help me?" "No. Why don't I pass the position to you and make you the patriarch of the Zhuo family? I believe the others won't object." "The patriarch of the Zhuo family?" Tsing Hui shook his head. "There's no need. In fact, if you want to have absolute authority in the Zhuo family, it's very simple, you only need to..." He extended his right hand and clenched his fist. "Have the strength. Have the strength to suppress everyone from the other bloodlines. When the time comes, the entire Zhuo family will naturally follow your orders as the patriarch." Chapter 81. When Zhuo Shuri heard Tsing Hui mention his strength, he felt a little ashamed. "I spend most of my time cultivating. Even with the resources Yunqing and Miss Nailan have given me, I still need a year or two to break through to the blood transformation realm." When Tsing Hui heard how Zhuo Shuri addressed Nailan Fei, he knew that Zhuo Shuri must feel inferior in front of Nailan Fei. This was probably why he didn't want to trouble Nailan Fei most of the time. Compared to Nailan Fei, who was blessed by the heavens, Zhuo Shuri was too ordinary. Even though he was lucky enough to become siblings with Nailan Fei, he still couldn't change the lofty image of Nailan Fei in his heart. "Father, Auntie, and we have given you a lot of cultivation resources. Logically speaking, you should have reached the blood transformation realm long ago. Why is it that Zhuo Xiangbei and Zhuo Longao have already broken through to the blood transformation realm, but you're still at the peak of the viscera refining realm?" Zhuo Yunqing was a little confused. This. As the Zhuo family patriarch, I can't just think about myself most of the time. I have to think about the big picture. Xiangbei has already reached the peak of the viscera refining realm. When he came to borrow pills to break through to the next realm, I couldn't refuse. And Uncle Longao. He's our elder, someone from your grandfather's generation. He personally said that he wanted to reach the blood transformation realm to stimulate his life potential and extend his life. How could I turn a blind eye to that? So you gave them the resources that Yunqing and Nailan Fei sent you? Xing Hui asked. I did this for the stability of the family. Zhuo Shiri said. Xing Hui looked at Chou Xing Hui. He had to admit that Chou Xing Hui's father's personality was a little too weak. Moreover, he attached too much importance to the so-called family ties. Anyone with a discerning eye could see that the other people in the Zhuo family were treating him like a fool. However, he was bound by the so-called family ties and could not refuse. Sometimes, he knew that the other party had bad intentions, but as long as his peers and elders said a few good words and begged him, he would give away the good things from Nailan Fei just like that. A father with such a personality, it was no wonder that Chou Xing Hui had to follow behind Erasure Yudo and end up with nothing. How can Uncle Xiangbei and Granduncle Long Ao do this? Some of those resources were saved up with great difficulty. Zhuo Yunqing said with some dissatisfaction. Although our Zhuo family is known as a first-rate family, because we don't have a blood transformation realm expert, which power in 100 Desolation City doesn't look down on us? When I saw that Zhuo Xiangbei had indeed reached the peak of the viscera refining realm, and what he said made sense, I took out those resources to help him. As for Uncle Long Ao, during that period of time, his qi and blood were severely damaged. If he couldn't break through, I'm afraid he wouldn't be able to live much longer. Uncle Long Ao's juniors came to beg me, but I didn't want them to send their juniors off, so. You showed mercy to the Zhuo family several times, but I didn't see them show any mercy to you or my brother. Back then, because of the matter with Nailan Fei, they all clamored to expel my brother from the Zhuo family. They even wanted to erase his ancestral records and self-destruct. Zhuo Yunqing said angrily. Hearing her words, Zhuo Shiri glanced at Chou Xing Hui and was filled with guilt. I'm useless. I've made you suffer. Xing Hui shook his head. A person's personality was fixed and difficult to change. Especially since Zhuo Shiri didn't have the heart of an expert. If they wanted him to be motivated and play the role of a patriarch and control the Zhuo family, difficult. I have a set of rank 2 divine weapons in my hands. It's divided into the divine weapon, the armor, and the spirit-gathering jade. When you wear the armor, unless you're an awakening realm expert, no one will be able to do anything to you. As for the spirit-gathering jade, it can continuously gather yuan qi of the world to refine your body and strengthen it. Even if you don't cultivate, you'll naturally reach the blood transformation realm in 3 to 5 years. If you supplement it with high-grade techniques and top-grade pills, you'll reach the blood transformation realm in half a year. As long as you have the strength to suppress the entire Zhuo family, no one will dare to be arrogant in front of you. Rank 2 divine weapon. And, it's a set. Zhuo Shiri's eyes widened. I'll leave my spiritual imprint on the divine weapon. It's best if you don't let anyone else use it. Otherwise, if the sword intent recoils, I can't guarantee that they won't be able to survive. With that, Xing Hui turned to leave. I still have to deal with Biyu's matter. I don't have time to waste on the Zhuo family's internal strife. Think about the Zhuo family's actions and carefully consider whether they're worth your sacrifice. Seeing Xing Hui turn to leave, Zhuo Yunqing hesitated for a moment. Then, he said to Zhuo Shiri, Father, I also think that some people in the family have gone too far. When you can bring them benefits, they treat you with respect. But when you don't have anything good in your hands, they immediately turn on you. Zhuo Shiri watched as Xing Hui and Zhuo Yunqing left one after another. His face was a little sad. As a member of the family, I only want to be united and help each other. Why did they? In Nalan Fei's room, she was flipping through the information sent by the Hunyuan Heavenly Sex Princess Lan Yu. He even lent her the mysterious void armor. Peak Master Yuan Kong is too biased. Perhaps I owe you a favor for protecting me, but that doesn't mean I have to submit to you. Nalan Fei frowned. Fei, At this moment, Nalan Xing's voice came from outside the door. Then, he and two other Nalan family spirit refining experts stepped into the room at the same time. Seeing the three of them, Nalan Fei also felt a little helpless. The feeling the Nalan family gave her was too realistic. It was a family that placed benefits above all else. There was no kinship in this family. In their hearts, in order to strengthen the family, anything could be sacrificed. Even their children, wives, and children were no exception. This was the reason why she hadn't been very close to the other members of the Nalan family all these years. If it wasn't for Bai Yu's revolt this time, she had no choice but to rely on the strength of the Nalan family to fight against her. She would never have asked Nalan Sheng, Nalan Hong, and Nalan Feng, these three elders to take action. Fei, we've already heard from Jing Yun, Yu Yang, and the other juniors. I didn't expect a true dragon to be born in a small family like the Zhuo family. Nalan Hong took the lead with a smile. If we didn't guess wrongly, this kid was able to kill the five-colored dragon king of the Black Dragon Society. His chi is not simple. Maybe it's holy chi. At such a young age, not only did he cultivate to the true chi realm, he even cultivated holy chi. According to the news I heard, this Cho Tsing Hui seems to have cultivated sword intent. This is the gate to the spirit refining realm. In the future, as long as he cultivates step by step, it won't be difficult for him to step into the spirit refining realm. Maybe he'll be another genius like you. Nalan Feng, who was at the side, quickly followed up. Nalan Fei thought of the Tian Peng unhindered art that Tsing Hui asked Princess Lan Yu to bring. Then she thought of the astonishing battle strength he displayed in the awakening realm. She guessed that he had indeed awakened the bloodline of a sacred beast, but I understand Tsing Hui's matter. Elders, why did you mention Tsing Hui? Naturally, Fei, I've asked the Zhuo family. This Cho Tsing Hui is not married yet. Coincidentally, I have a granddaughter called Nalan Shui. I believe you've heard of her before. Not only is she a beauty, her cultivation talent is also not bad. Currently, she's in the awakening realm. I think she and Cho Tsing Hui are a match made in heaven. Nalan Xing said. If Cho Tsing Hui feels that Shui, is not suitable, my granddaughter Nalan Yu is also suitable. Although her cultivation is lower and she has just changed her bloodline, she's still young. Compared to Cho Tsing Hui, she's 2 years younger. It's just right for them to cultivate their feelings. Nalan Hong agreed. Nalan Fei glanced at the several doyens, and immediately understood their intentions. The Nalan family had been able to develop until now, and the biggest characteristic was that they were willing to marry off their daughters. Although the Nalan family did not have an immortal level 4th layer expert, their influence was great. Many of their daughters were married to the elders of the Hunyuan Heaven sect and the top 100 true disciples as concubines. These elders might not do their best when the Nalan family was in danger, but they would definitely support them. Obviously, they saw Tsing Hui's talent and wanted to pull him into the Nalan family. This is Tsing Hui's own business. It's up to Tsing Hui to decide. Marriage has always been decided by the parents. As his aunt, you can be said to be the closest person to him apart from his father. If you go and make things clear to him and his father, I believe he will definitely not refuse. That's right. Nalan Xing smiled and said, compared to the Zhuo family, our Nalan family is more than 1,000 times stronger. We are willing to let him join our family because we think highly of him. Anyone with a brain knows what the right choice is. As far as I know, Tsing Hui already has a sweetheart called Wu Yuyao. It was because of Wu Yuyao that he became angry and killed Prince Longquan, which led to a series of events. Nailan Fei did not want Xing Hui to enter the Nailan family. Once he entered the Nailan family, he might have some benefits in the beginning, but in the end, the Nailan family would definitely squeeze him dry. As she cultivated to the spirit refining realm, her value increased greatly, and she had already experienced it. How can a mere Wu Yuyao compare to the children of our Nailan family? Nailan Hong said disdainfully. However, Nailan Xing thought about what Xing Hui did to Wu Yuyao and said, if Xing Hui and Wu Yuyao have a good relationship, we can allow him to take her as a concubine, but the children of our Nailan family must be the first wife. In my opinion, Xing Hui must have seen too little of the world, which is why he was charmed by an ordinary woman. When he sees the children of our Nailan family, he will naturally not be interested in Wu Yuyao. That's right, that's right. Nailan Fei shook her head, I can't make the decision on this matter. Nailan Sheng was unhappy. Fei, you invited us to protect the Zhuo family for you, and we rushed over without hesitation. Why can't we handle such a small matter? If the Zhuo family really doesn't put your words in their heart, then why should we waste our time and energy on such an ungrateful family? It's better to just bring them back and let them fend for themselves. Go call Zhuo Shuri. If you can't speak, I'll speak to him and see if he agrees. Chapter 82. Half a day after Xing Hui arrived at the Zhuo residence, everyone in the Luolin kingdom received the news. In a short period of time, the number of cultivators outside Nailan Fei's residence doubled. From time to time, one could see the figures of Saint Chao Zhendao, Flying Deity Bat Yi Shui Han, Sly Assassin Tu Ying, Mirror Immortal Wang Zhe, Poison Gentleman Tong Ping Ping, and God-slaying Sword Situ Qiushui. The reward of a rank 4 divine weapon was an irresistible temptation to any spirit-refining cultivator. Even if they had to offend a spirit-refining true disciple with unlimited potential, they would not hesitate. Under such circumstances, the many experts in the courtyard clearly became busy. However, what made Xing Hui puzzled was that the experts of the Nailan family who were in charge of assisting Nailan Fei's subordinates had become slack in their work. They gathered in groups of 3 to 5 and were too lazy to bother with patrolling. He did not have the time to care about these details. At this moment, he had already arrived at the entrance of the courtyard. Seeing Xing Hui outside the courtyard, Bai Lansheng, Jing Yun, and the rest who were in charge of guarding the courtyard were startled. They quickly said, Prince Xing Hui, please go back and hide immediately. If you expose yourself rashly, those criminals might find an opportunity to attack the residence. No worries, I'm here to pick up one of my men. He should be here soon. But, before Bai Lansheng could say anything, Yan Huang's figure had already appeared at the corner of the street and was heading towards the courtyard. Seeing Yan Huang striding over, Bai Lansheng's pupils shrank. He could not help but exclaim, Spirit Refining Cultivator. The next moment, he quickly shouted, Quick! Quick! Be careful! Inform the elders. Where are the elders? Why are they nowhere to be seen? Don't make a fuss, these are my men. Xing Hui said. At this moment, Yan Huang's figure leaped and arrived in front of Xing Hui. He cupped his hands towards Xing Hui, Master. When Bai Lansheng saw this, he couldn't help but be stunned on the spot. He could see that Yan Huang was definitely a spirit-refining cultivator. Moreover, he seemed to be stronger than ordinary spirit-refining cultivators. Perhaps, he had reached the middle stage of the spirit-refining realm. This kind of spirit-refining cultivator should be an illustrious and famous character, yet he actually greeted Xing Hui who was only in the true Qi realm. Moreover, it was not a friendship between equals, but a servant addressing him as master. Xing Hui nodded at Yan Huang and led him to the inner courtyard under the surprised gazes of Bai Lansheng and the others. That lord seems to be a spirit-refining cultivator. We have 4 spirit-refining cultivators on our side. Jing Yun was pleasantly surprised. During this period of time, with the appearance of Qing Su, the spirit-refining cultivators of the enemy forces would occasionally peek in this direction, bringing them great pressure. At this time, the addition of a spirit-refining cultivator on their side was a great boost to their morale. Tsing Hui, you're here. Father, Auntie, and several Nalan clan elders are looking for you. When Tsing Hui brought Yan Huang into the courtyard, Zhuo Yunqing brought a few people out. Seeing him, Zhuo Yunqing was pleasantly surprised. Looking for me? Tsing Hui saw that Nalan Fei, several Nalan clan elders, and Zhuo Shuri were all present. He guessed that they were discussing how to deal with Bai Yu. Although he had Yan Huang, a peak expert, on his side, it was difficult for two fists to fight against four hands. If he could get the help of the Nalan clan's spirit-refining cultivators, defeating Bai Yu's forces and killing Bai Yu would be much easier. I'll go over. Tsing Hui said and brought Yan Huang to the meeting hall. In the meeting hall, Nalan Fei, Zhuo Shuri, and the others were all present. At the same time, Zhuo Aolong and Zhuo Xiangbei, who had just broken through to the blood transformation realm and whose influence in the Zhuo family had nearly overshadowed Zhuo Shuri's. When they saw Qing Su arrive, Nalan Hong and Nalan Feng constantly studied him. Once they confirmed that he really was a true qi cultivator, they immediately smiled from ear to ear. Nephew Tsing Hui, you're here. We've been waiting for you. You're the biggest winner of this good thing. Nalan Sheng welcomed him warmly. Good thing? What good thing? Ha, we've already discussed with your father, Zhuo Shuri. I have a granddaughter named Nalan Shui. She has an extraordinary appearance and is well educated. In addition, she has also awakened her bloodline and stepped into the awakening realm. Although her bloodline is ordinary, she's good at breeding. It's not difficult for her to carry on the bloodline and strengthen your Zhuo clan. When do you two want to meet to settle this matter? Zhuo Shuri was a little embarrassed. He only said that he had no objections and that everything would be decided by Tsing Hui. When did they reach an agreement? Tsing Hui frowned. He didn't understand what was going on. Zhuo Xiangbei and Zhuo Oolong hurriedly chimed in, Tsing Hui, the young ladies of the Nalan clan are very honorable. Being able to marry one would bring honor to your ancestors. Why don't you hurry up and thank Holy Elder Nalan for his appreciation? That's right, that's right. Our Zhuo clan can become in-laws with the Nalan clan. It's rare for Holy Elder Nalan to think so highly of you. Don't let down Holy Elder Nalan's good intentions. I'm no longer a member of the Zhuo clan. My matters are not for you to decide. Tsing Hui glanced at the two and said coldly. He didn't have a good impression of these two people who were openly and secretly trying to take the cultivation resources that Nalan Fei and Zhuo Yunqing had given to Zhuo Shuri for themselves. However, Zhuo Xiangbei and Zhuo Oolong, who were used to the Zhuo clan humbling themselves in front of him, couldn't take it anymore. Their faces turned stiff. Tsing Hui, what are you saying? What do you mean you're no longer a member of the Zhuo clan? Don't forget that you grew up eating the rice of the Zhuo clan. You cultivate our techniques and the blood of the Zhuo clan flows in your veins. Now that you've gained some ability, you're looking down on everyone else. You don't respect us elders at all, do you? Is that so? When you insisted on expelling me from the Zhuo clan's ancestral home, I didn't hear you say that. That was just to polish you. Zhuo Oolong looked a little embarrassed, but he quickly covered it up. As the saying goes, jade can't become anything without being polished. You've been with Erisher Yudo all this time and your great talent has been ruined. We had no choice but to use this method to stimulate your fighting spirit. It seems that this method is very effective. You should thank us properly. That makes sense. After Tsing Hui finished speaking, he turned to Zhuo Shuri and said coldly, from what I see, Zhuo Xiangbei and Zhuo Oolong have both reached the blood transformation realm. Next is the crucial moment for them to break through to the awakening realm. Why don't you treat them the same way you treated me? Expel them from the Zhuo clan and let them work hard. This way, the Zhuo clan might have 2 more Awakening Realm powerhouses in the future. As soon as he said that, Zhuo Oolong and Zhuo Xiangbei's expressions changed. They immediately shouted, "Xing Hui, you child, how can you say that? Yeah, how can us elders compare to you youngsters? Shuri, don't you care about your son?" Zhuo Shuri opened his mouth to say something, but Xing Hui knew his son's personality. He didn't want to make things difficult for him, so he said, "I'm already an adult. I make my own decisions. No one can influence me." Qing Su, that's where you're wrong. Marriage has always been decided by the parents and matchmakers. Since when was it your turn to speak? Or do you want to betray your ancestors? Nailan Xing said with dissatisfaction. Nailan Hong responded appropriately, "That's right. If you, Cho Xing Hui, really want to betray your ancestors, then your matters will no longer have anything to do with us. When the time comes, don't blame us for leaving without caring about your safety. Your life and death will be at BU's disposal. You can't. Elders, please calm down." Zhuo Shuri quickly shouted when he heard that Nailan Hong and the others were about to leave. He understood that although Xing Hui's cultivation was fast, he was only in the true Qi realm at best. There were already a few spirit refining cultivators who wanted to take his life and go to BU for rewards, not to mention the spirit refining cultivators invited by Fairy BU. Once the Nailan clan's spirit refining elders left, only death would await Xing Hui. He quickly said, "Elders, please wait for a moment. Let me have a good talk with Xing Hui, humph. You better give us an accurate answer quickly. We don't have so much time to waste here." Nailan Xing's expression immediately changed. Yes, I understand." Zhuo Shuri finished speaking and turned to Xing Hui. "Elders, you were invited by me. For this, I paid 3 rank 3 divine weapons. Now that the 1-year deadline is not up, how can you give up halfway?" Without waiting for Zhuo Shuri to speak, Nailan Fei said solemnly. "Fei, you can't blame us. Although we were invited by you to protect the Zhuo clan, others did not put us in their eyes. Can we continue to endure?" "That's right. Moreover, as a member of our Nailan clan, you were able to cultivate to the spirit refining realm in a short 20 years. You have spent a lot of our cultivation resources. Now that you have some achievements, it is reasonable for you to contribute 3 rank 3 divine weapons to the clan, right? To actually talk about these 3 divine weapons, you really don't know anything." Nailan Fei frowned. "Alright, things are different now. Currently, Baiyu has invited 6 spirit refining cultivators. In addition to the 2 spirit refining cultivators by her side and herself, there are a total of 9 spirit refining cultivators. Even if we talk about the matter, 3 rank 3 divine weapons are not enough to invite 3 spirit refining cultivators and 9 spirit refining cultivators to fight to the death, right? Isn't this making things difficult for us?" Nailan Xing said. In the end, he added, "Of course, if you contribute 6 more rank 3 divine weapons to the clan and invite 6 spirit refining cultivators, we can continue to protect the Zhuo clan with 9 against 9. 6 level 3 divine weapons. Elders, aren't you asking for too much?" "Ha, even if you don't have 6 rank 3 divine weapons, the rank 4 divine weapon given to you by the sect leader is also fine. If you are willing to contribute it to the clan, I guarantee that the Zhuo clan will not suffer any harm." That's right. Baiyu has already taken out a rank 4 divine weapon to reward Cho Xing Hui. You should also take out a rank 4 divine weapon to fight against her. It is completely reasonable. Hearing the words rank 4 divine weapon, Nailan Hong and Nailan Feng's eyes flashed with passion as they tried their best to persuade. Enough. At this moment, Qing Su suddenly called out and took a step forward. "Our Zhuo family can't afford to raise the price on the spot. If you feel that the price is too high, you can leave immediately. I won't send you off. I will settle Baiyu's matter." Chapter 83. Cho Tsing-hui, what are you talking about? What do you mean by raising the price? So unpleasant to hear. Don't you know what it means to be in a different situation? You want us to fight against 9 spirit refining cultivators with 3 rank 3 divine weapons? Why don't you try to hire experts with this price? If you can get any forces to help, I'll change my surname to yours. Those 3 divine weapons will be the compensation for your hard work. And, follow me, we'll discuss how to defeat the enemy. With that, Qing Su turned around and left. Tsing-hui, don't be impulsive. Zhuo Shiri hurriedly shouted. What are you doing? Without the elders of the Nalan family, how can we fight against the experts sent by Fairy Bai Yu? If you want to die, go ahead, but don't drag us down with you. Zhuo Xiangbei and Zhuo Aolong shouted angrily. However, Nalan Fei said nothing. She continued to stare at Yan Huang behind Qing Su as a sliver of surprise appeared in her eyes. Others might not be able to feel it, but she could. Holy rank earth energy. She could feel the aura of holy rank earth energy from Yan Huang. Moreover, compared to her, a cultivator who had just condensed saint-grade aura chi, Yan Huang's attainments in the spirit refining realm were much deeper. She immediately stood up and chased after Qing Su when she sensed that Blazing Glory and Qing Su's relationship was slightly different from that of friends. When she left the hall, her voice rang out, "Elders, if the 3 of you really aren't willing to lend a hand, then so be it. As for the 3 divine artifacts, just as Qing Su said, they'll be your employment fee for the next few months. However, from today onwards, as long as the Nalan clan doesn't encounter a calamity that's close to annihilation, don't blame me for choosing to stand by and watch." Fei Yu, Let them go. Now that Zhuo Qingxiu has returned, Bai Yu will definitely launch a frenzied attack. Without the few of us to share the pressure, even if Fei Lass has the advantage of holy grade aura chi, she won't be able to resist so many spirit refining cultivators. Seeing that Nalan Sheng wanted to keep Nalan Fei, Nalan Hong snorted. Nalan Feng, who was standing by the side, also nodded his head in agreement. That's right, we'll wait. In any case, if there are any casualties in the end, it won't be someone from our Nalan clan who dies. However, once she is unable to withstand the pressure and asks for our help, it won't be as simple as a level 4 divine weapon. I remember that when Fei went to see the sect master, other than being bestowed a level 4 divine weapon, she was also bestowed with a bottle of Wanhua Yuan Gang pills. Wanhua Yuan Gang pill. I only cultivate spirit grade Gang Qi. If I were to consume a bottle of Wanhua Yuan Gang pill, with my current attainments in Gang Qi, it would not be difficult for me to have the combat strength of a late-stage Gang Qi cultivator. Just you wait. Based on my understanding of Lass Fei, she will yield. Nalan Sheng, Nalan Hong, and Nalan Feng quickly reached a consensus. Feng. In another room, Nalan Fei stared at Yan Huang and said, "Yan Huang, a friend of mine." Hearing Qing Su introduce him as a friend, Yan Huang was secretly grateful in his heart. At the same time, he bowed slightly towards Nalan Fei. "Mr. Qing Su has done me a great favor. I have already sworn to follow Mr. Qing Su and treat Mr. Qing Su as my master." Yan Huang has long heard of Miss Nalan's genius name. Today, I have seen that it is indeed well deserved. If I am not wrong, Miss Nalan's strength is likely not inferior to an ordinary late-stage spirit refining realm expert. Hearing Yan Huang's flattery, Tsing-hui also used an appraisal skill on Nalan Fei. However, the result of the appraisal skill surprised him. Nalan Fei. Chaotic level, rank 12. Attack level, 34. Defense level, 35. Speed level, 36. Spirit level, 33. Her attributes were the same as Yan Huang's. It could be seen that the two were about the same. What really caught Tsing Hui's attention was Nalan Fei's chaotic level. Rank 12. She was 1 level higher than Dawn Leader Ling Yu. Moreover, Rank 10 was the dividing line between ordinary sons of chaos and high-rank sons of chaos. Nalan Fei, who was a rank 12 son of chaos, must have pointed out the divine art. Therefore, her actual combat strength could no longer be measured by ordinary spirit refining experts. Son of chaos. No wonder Nalan Fei's performance was ordinary before she was adopted. However, not long after she joined the Hunyuan Heaven sect, she soared to the heavens in just a few decades and cultivated holy grade aura chi. I thought she was heavily nurtured by the Hunyuan Heaven sect, but it was actually because she obtained the primal chaos inheritance. Xing Hui understood. At the same time, he was somewhat surprised. He did not know why Nalan Fei still stayed in the Hunyuan Heaven sect after obtaining the primal chaos inheritance. Was she not afraid that the high-rank sons of chaos of the Hunyuan Heaven sect would discover the mysteries of her body? Your Excellency Yan Huang is also not weak. Moreover, your name sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't recall it at the moment. Yan Huang was startled and secretly glanced at Xing Hui. Seeing that Xing Hui did not say anything, he smiled and said, "Is that so? Perhaps we have met before. I was restrained by the Sky Origin Peak Master and the higher-ups of the Hunyuan Heaven sect, so I could not act directly. I had no choice but to borrow the strength of the Nalan family. However, after meeting Your Excellency Yan Huang, I am relieved. If Your Excellency Yan Huang is willing to help, you will not only be able to threaten Xing Hui's safety, but also her own life. Miss Nalan is too kind. Let us discuss how to resolve the crisis of the Zhua family and deal with Biyu's crazy revenge." Nalan Fei nodded. "This is the detailed information I have collected on the experts under Biyu. Please take a look." Yan Huang cautiously received the information. He knew that these spirit-refining experts were the key to solving the problem of Xing Hui. As he flipped through the information one by one, he soon came to a conclusion. Among these spirit-refining experts, the ones who can be considered a threat are the god-slaying sword Situ Qiushui, the scarlet flame fairy Zhang Shui, and the dragon monarch Zhang Jiuxiao. Although the others have spirit-refining cultivation, they have only condensed ordinary aura chi and barely stepped into the spirit-refining realm. Otherwise, they have only been in the spirit-refining realm for a short period of time and are not worth mentioning. Yan Huang said. Within the same realm, there were naturally differences in strength. If a peak spirit-refining cultivator were to fight against an ordinary spirit-refining cultivator, 1 against 10 would not be a problem. But if a spirit-refining cultivator with Saint-grade aura chi was to fight against a spirit-refining cultivator who had just condensed ordinary aura chi, not to mention 10, even 20, 30, or 40 of them would be defeated by him alone. This was also the reason why Yan Huang dared to not put the other spirit-refining cultivators in his eyes. The god-slaying sword Situ Qiushui is easier to deal with. She is arrogant and always acts alone. But the dragon monarch Zhang Jiuxiao and the scarlet flame fairy Zhang Shui, both of them have the strength of a late-stage or peak spirit-refining cultivator. I can deal with one of them alone, but if the two of them join hands, I'm afraid it will be troublesome. After Yan Huang finished speaking, he turned to Xing Hui. One of them will have to be personally dealt with by Gongzi. I do not hope to defeat him, but just delay him for a while. After I kill the other one, I will come to Gongzi's aid. Hearing Yan Huang's words, Nalan Fei's eyes narrowed. Yan Huang, he actually has the confidence to kill a late-stage or peak spirit-refining cultivator. Also, he said that Xing Hui has just stepped into the true Qi realm. Moreover, I can see that he has just stepped into the true Qi realm not long ago. How can he deal with a spirit-refining cultivator? Especially a late-stage spirit-refining cultivator? Could it be? Nalan Fei looked at Xing Hui with a trace of expectation. Xing Hui, did you really cultivate holy grade true Qi? Yan Huang also secretly glanced at Xing Hui. Holy grade true Qi. If Xing Hui only cultivated holy grade true Qi, how could he have such a terrifying power? What he cultivated was divine grade true Qi. It was because of this that Yan Huang chose to submit to Tsing Hui when he was at his wit's end. Relying on a genius cultivator who cultivated divine grade true qi, although he would lose his freedom, but it might not be impossible for him to take advantage of the situation and soar to the sky. Tsing Hui nodded and said, although I do not know the cultivation of those two, I will try my best to delay them. Wait a minute. Nalan Fei took out the rank 4 divine weapon on her. It was a divine sword. As she reached out and touched the sword, the spiritual imprint she had imprinted on the sword immediately dissipated. Because the spiritual imprint had dissipated, she seemed to have suffered a backlash. A trace of paleness flashed across her originally fair and pretty face. With this sword, your chances of winning will more or less increase. This is, Tsing Hui looked at the rank 4 divine sword that was emitting a mysterious light and seemed to have thought of something. This is the rank 4 divine weapon that the sect leader bestowed upon me, the 9-winged cloud soaring sword. Rank 4 high-grade divine weapon. Nalan Fei nodded, the quality of the saint-grade true qi I've cultivated is extremely good, and the sect leader is very fond of it. In addition, the 4th-ranked divine weapon bestowed by the sect leader naturally wouldn't be a low-grade 4th-ranked divine weapon. Given his status, he wouldn't be able to take it out. Hence, no one knew that this divine sword was a high-grade 4th-ranked divine weapon. If you wield this divine sword, if you use it wisely, you can even reverse the situation. Ant is considerate. I will definitely use this sword to cut off Jasper's head. Jasper, if you kill her, then so be it. Otherwise, even with the 1-year deadline from the Sky Origin Peak Lord, who knows what kind of trouble she will cause us. I will bear the consequences. At most, I will bring this matter to the sect leader. With Ant's words, I am relieved. Tsing Hui nodded slightly. However, you have to be careful. Even though Jasper has only cultivated spirit grade true qi, she is still much stronger than ordinary spirit refining cultivators. Coupled with the rank 4 divine weapon in her hands, she is probably not much weaker than the dragon monarch Zhang Jiuxiao and the scarlet flame fairy Tsang Shui. Do what you can. I understand that. Tsing Hui saw that Nalan Fei had lent him the divine weapon that the sect leader bestowed upon her, and was willing to go against Fairy Jasper, who was stronger than her, for the Zhuo family. Even if the secret of the Primal Chaos Shrine was exposed, she would still trust him. He immediately asked the question that had been bothering him, "Aunt, if I am not wrong, you are the son of Primal Chaos." Chapter 84. Tsing Hui's question caused Nalan Fei's expression to change slightly. After a moment, she seemed to have thought of something and suddenly stared at Tsing Hui. You can know the term, Son of Chaos. You're also a son of chaos. Tsing Hui nodded. No wonder. Nalan Fei sighed and was sincerely happy for Tsing Hui. No wonder you cultivated to the true energy realm in less than 2 years. I originally thought that you had obtained the inheritance of some powerhouse, but now it seems that the inheritance you obtained is even more astonishing than I imagined. To be able to become a son of chaos, this kind of opportunity is no less than being taken in as a personal disciple by a hall master or even a 6th-stage longevity powerhouse. Tsing Hui nodded slightly. The inheritance of a son of chaos was indispensable for him to be able to achieve such achievements. When Yan Huang heard Tsing Hui actually bring up this question that could expose his identity as a son of chaos, his gaze was fixed on Nalan Fei. As long as Nalan Fei had any intention of revealing Tsing Hui's identity, he would not hesitate to use thunderous means to eliminate her in one fell swoop. Although, if they were to really fight to the death, Nalan Fei's combat strength was actually above Yan Huang's. You guessed right, I am indeed a son of chaos. Nalan Fei generously admitted. After that, she glanced at Blazing Glory, who was full of vigilance, and said with a faint smile, if I remember correctly, in an organization called Dawn, there is a son of chaos whose code name is Blazing Glory. Yan Huang's expression changed slightly. Auntie is trustworthy. Tsing Hui said. Since Tsing Hui had said so, Yan Huang could not hide it any longer. I am Yan Huang of Dawn. No need to be so surprised, I am from Sky Dome. Sky Dome. Yan Huang's expression changed drastically, and his gaze towards Naylan Fei was filled with a trace of reverence. Sky Dome. What's the difference? Tsing Hui asked. Sky Dome. Sky Dome is one of the most famous top-tier organizations in the Chaos Temple. Among the hundreds and thousands of Sons of Chaos in the Chaos Temple, it definitely ranks in the top 10. Yan Huang fiercely swallowed his saliva. When he mentioned the two words, Tianqiong, his eyes were filled with yearning. The entire Chaos Temple, it should be known that the Chaos Divine Palace did not refer to the Eastern Wilderness. It included all the islands after the Divine Wilderness was destroyed. Even the Infinite Wasteland, which was the center of the world, was included. To be able to rank in the top 10 of the entire Chaos Temple, that kind of strength could be imagined. Yan Huang forcefully suppressed the shock in his heart. He looked at Naylan Fei and asked in confusion, as far as I know, only those who have cultivated divine-grade astral energy are qualified to join Tianqiong. Why? This has to do with the inheritance I obtained. The inheritance I obtained was from an almighty who had reached rank 25 in the chaos and cultivated the incarnation art. And that almighty was from Sky Dome. Naylan Fei sighed. You all know that some almighty beings like to send their incarnations to roam the continent in search of items that have escaped the net. That almighty Bei Shao was one of them. Searching for an incarnation of an item that has carried the Tao often requires very strong psychic energy to be able to sense the location of the item on a large scale. It is precisely because of this that even though Bei Zhao's main body was suddenly destroyed, his incarnation was still able to survive for a short period of time. By chance, just as his incarnation was about to dissipate, I foresaw it and obtained his chaos inheritance. Yan Huang and Tsing Hui found this inconceivable. The inheritance of a rank 25 son of chaos had inexplicably delivered to their doorstep. As expected, there was no best in a chaos inheritance, only better. It was the same with opportunities. Bei Shao was an upper echelon of Sky Dome and had countless friends. When I obtained his inheritance and entered the Chaos Temple, because I was new and did not understand the wonders of the Chaos Dimension, I was invited into the personal dimension of the Sky Dome Lord when I obtained the inheritance, thus exposing myself. Fortunately, perhaps because Sky Dome paid more attention to fate, or perhaps because they did not know where my main body was, they did not track me down and kill me. Instead, they invited me to join Sky Dome and become a part of it. One of them, a son of chaos who was Bei Zhao's Tao companion, Zi Shao, even took me in as his disciple and taught me cultivation. Naylan Fei's expression dimmed. Unfortunately, even though Master Zi Shao imparted to me all sorts of methods to condense stellar energy, I, who had only awakened the Azure Yuan bloodline, was unable to condense divine-grade stellar energy and was unable to obtain the approval of the others in Sky Dome. Azure Yuan, this was a divine beast similar to the phoenix. Although it was classified as a holy beast, it was not good at fighting, and its bloodline was slightly inferior to that of a phoenix. But although it did not possess great fighting strength, the Azure Yuan possessed an enviable hidden talent. And that was luck. This was a kind of auspicious holy beast, which was a holy beast that could increase the attribute of luck. Those who awakened the bloodline of this holy beast might not be able to dazzle others in battle, but they would often be able to obtain incredible opportunities. Sky Dome is enough to intimidate the Hunyuan Heaven Sect Master. Yan Huang said, although Sky Dome's headquarters is far away in Heaven Wasteland, if it's a mighty expert above the 25th stage of the Chaos Dimension, they can use the incarnation technique to descend upon our eastern wilderness. A 5th or even 6th stage saint expert can use the incarnation sword will alone to heavily injure the majority of experts. If they are willing to expend Yuan Qi to project their power over, even if they are only at the 4th or 5th stage of the longevity realm, they can contend against the Hunyuan Heaven Sect. Qing Su nodded when he heard that. No wonder no one accepted you as a disciple even though Miss Nalan has clearly cultivated saint-grade astral chi. It turns out that you already have a master. If a mighty expert of Heaven Wasteland accepted you as a disciple, the other elders of the Hunyuan Heaven sect naturally can't interfere too much. Nalan Fei nodded. In fact, the sect master gave me a high-grade divine artifact with the intention of forming good karma. The 10 great sacred sects may also have chaos organizations or large sects behind them. Perhaps they are not as strong as Sky Dome, but the difference should not be too great. The forces behind the 10 great sacred sects. Yan Huang could not help but think of some 6th-stage longevity realm experts. Some of them were actually not weaker than the sect masters and elders of the 10 great sacred sects, but they were still suppressed by the 10 great sacred sects. From the looks of it, this should be due to a deeper background. Xing Hui glanced at Nalan Fei. Originally, if he could smoothly solve the problem of the Son of Chaos entering the 10 great sacred sects without being captured and interrogated, he could consider joining the Jin Wu religion and use peaceful methods to plot the Jin Wu religion's Great Sun Golden Crow art to avoid offending this colossus, but Nalan Fei could sit back and relax because of Sky Dome, and to enter Sky Dome, one must cultivate divine-grade astral chi to the spirit-refining realm. However, if he dared to break through to the spirit-refining realm, there would be an imbalance between the strong and the weak, and the Torch Dragon bloodline would inevitably devour the Golden Crow bloodline. From the looks of it, his plan to enter the Jin Wu religion had failed. If he wanted to obtain the Great Sun Golden Crow art, he could only start from Xian Yan and Lai Wuyang. Dragon Monarch Zhang Jiuxiao, Scarlet Flame Deity Tsang Shui, and Bai Yu often act together in order to prevent Miss Nalan from assassinating them. Killing them is difficult. Another one worth mentioning is Situ Qiushui. In my opinion, we should first kill Situ Qiushui, then kill the other spirit-refining cultivators. As long as we kill all the spirit-refining cultivators of the Lorraine Kingdom, we will be able to intimidate the others and make them think clearly about whether it is worth it to die for a rank 4 divine weapon. Then let's kill Situ Qiushui first. Xing Hui said. There were many spirit-refining cultivators in the Primal Chaos Heaven sect's territory, but more than 80% of them belonged to the Hunyuan Heaven sect or were related to it. Killing 4 spirit-refining cultivators in one go was enough to set off a large-scale storm among the loose cultivators in the Hunyuan Heaven sect's territory. It is inconvenient for me to make a move, so I can only wish you all a smooth journey. Nalan Fei said. The rank 4 divine weapon, Soaring Sky Sword, is enough. After Xing Hui finished speaking, he bid farewell to Yan Huang and left. Gongzi, what's the arrangement? Since we want to use it to intimidate all the spirit-refining and true chi cultivators who are eager to make a move for the rank 4 divine weapon, then we will fight openly. After Xing Hui finished speaking, he took the lead and walked out of the courtyard. Yan Huang hurriedly followed. When they arrived at the entrance of the courtyard, Bai Lansheng, who had already received news of the 3 elders of the Nalan clan slacking off, said with a worried face, Prince Xing Hui, at this critical moment, please do not go out for the time being. If you follow beside Miss Nalan, she can still use these spirit-refining cultivators to slightly protect you. But once you leave the courtyard, all the cultivators who have their eyes on you will definitely swarm you, no matter, Yan Huang, if there are people who do not know what's good for them, kill as many as they come. Xing Hui said. Yes, Gongzi. Yan Huang said solemnly. At this time, Bai Lansheng and the rest saw Yan Huang, who was following behind Xing Hui. Although Yan Huang did not reveal his earth chi, the aura around him from time to time caused Bai Lansheng to be shocked, this earth chi realm. Xing Hui nodded and stepped out of the courtyard with Yan Huang. But Prince Xing Hui, even if you really find a spirit-refining cultivator as a guard, it will still be insufficient. Right now, there are a total of 6 spirit-refining cultivators in the Luo Lin capital. Xing Hui did not bother with Bai Lansheng and walked out of the courtyard with Yan Huang. Taking large strides, they went straight to Situ Qiushui's residence. On the way, Yan Huang intentionally or unintentionally released his aura as a spirit-refining cultivator, causing those true Qi cultivators and even awakening cultivators who came for the rank 4 divine weapon to feel a chill in their hearts. Without anyone taking the lead, they did not dare to make a move first. After all, no matter how high the reward was, they still needed to be alive to enjoy it. Under such circumstances, when they arrived at Situ Qiushui's residence, it was unexpectedly calm. Situ Qiushui. Their target is actually Situ Qiushui. Situ Qiushui is a spirit-refining cultivator who has been famous for many years. They are actually so confident. Even if Nailan Fei were to personally make a move, she would have to spend a lot of effort to deal with Situ Qiushui. These two, Master has not arrived yet. Quickly pass the news to Master. The two stood outside Situ Qiushui's residence and let those cultivators who were observing them in the dark to quickly pass the news. In the dark, there was an endless stream of spies coming and going. Xing Hui looked at those spies and said, "Seems like those spirit-refining cultivators who have received the news will be here soon. Yan Huang, to achieve the best result, end this quickly." Understood. I will go and deal with Situ Qiushui now. Young Master, be careful of other people's sneak attacks. After Yan Huang finished speaking, he was about to barge into Situ Qiushui's courtyard. But just as he stepped into the courtyard, before he could see the courtyard's surroundings, a dazzling sword light brought along a biting cold current and completely swallowed Yan Huang's body. 16 sword shadows pierced Yan Huang's body at the same time. As long as the sword aura exploded, he would be torn into pieces. Chapter 85. What a fast sword. The aura Qi cultivator that Chou Xing Hui brought did not even have time to react and was hit by the sword. As expected of the god-slaying sword Situ Qiushui who had killed more than one spirit-refining cultivator. Does that Chou Xing Hui think that with a spirit-refining cultivator as his bodyguard, he can show off in front of the god-slaying sword Situ Qiushui? What a joke! So weak along with the death of Chou Xing Hui's bodyguard, only death awaits him. Seems like the rank 4 divine weapon will belong to Situ Qiushui. Yan Huang was unable to resist Situ Qiushui's sudden attack, causing an uproar among the spectators. Some of the scouts who had come on behalf of the spirit-refining cultivators were even more vexed. If they had known earlier that the Qing Su guards were so weak, they would have tried everything they could to get their masters to take action earlier and kill them. Not only were the spies vexed and shocked, even Situ Qiushui was surprised that she was able to kill a spirit-refining cultivator with a single strike. Although she was surprised, the sword in her hand did not stop moving. Die! Accompanied by a biting cold voice, a sharp sword aura erupted from the rank 3 upper-grade divine weapon in Situ Qiushui's hand, peng, peng, peng. The sword aura that shot out scattered and splashed onto the ground. In an instant, the courtyard's door was torn into pieces. The extremely sturdy door beam was slashed down by the sword aura, almost collapsing. However, even though his sword Qi had caused such considerable damage, Situ Qiushui, who originally had a victorious expression on her face, froze. Almost at the same time, a gloved right hand grabbed out through the air, ignoring the sword Qi as if it was nothing, and grabbed the level 3 divine weapon in her hand. Just like that. A voice sounded. Yan Huang, who was clad in black armor, held onto Situ Qiushui's sword. No matter how much Qi she shot out, it could not do anything to Yan Huang. Rank 4 upper grade profound water armor. Xing Hui glanced at the armor on Yan Huang's body. Originally, he wanted to take the armor for himself, but this armor was of the pure water attribute, and he had cultivated the Yang Qi. If he were to wear this rank 4 armor, its astonishing defense might not even be able to display 10% of its power. The armor on your body, Situ Qiushui's eyes widened, and a trace of disbelief and fear flashed across her eyes. Rumble. Thunder roared. Earth Qi erupted. Pang. Accompanied by a crisp sound, the level 3 upper-grade divine sword in Yan Huang's hand was actually broken by the full force of his Saint-grade stellar energy. God-slaying sword. Situ Qiushui's nickname was God Slayer. Her entire cultivation was focused on sword arts. Without a sharp sword, her battle prowess would drop by at least 40%. Roar. And at this time, Blazing Glory let out a low roar. The roar of a tiger and the cry of a dragon was like thunder, shaking the mind of the nearby Situ Qiushui and causing her to feel dizzy. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Yan Huang took a step forward. His right hand ruthlessly stabbed forward. In an instant, it pierced through Situ Qiushui's chest and grabbed her heart. Then, he squeezed it hard. Die. Pang. The fear in Situ Qiushui's eyes bloomed to the extreme. Then, like a burning meteor, it quickly dimmed God-slaying sword Situ Qiushui, dead. Yan Huang put away the mystic water armor covering his body and slowly retracted the arm he had stabbed into Situ Qiushui. Without the support of his arm, Situ Qiushui's body fell limply to the ground. As for Yan Huang, he allowed the blood to continuously drip down his right hand. His gaze slowly swept over the spies, Awakening Realm, and True Qi Realm experts of the various factions who were spying in this direction. Wherever his gaze landed, all the cultivators lowered their heads in shock. Not a single person dared to meet his gaze. Dead Situ Qiushui is dead. One move, God-slaying sword Situ Qiushui was killed in one move. How is this possible, too savage? Who is this expert that Cho Tsinghui brought? Whoosh! On the street, a figure exploded with stellar energy and instantly appeared outside Situ Qiushui's cave. It was Divine Flying Bat Yi Shuhan. He rushed over as soon as he received the news, attempting to stop Qing Su and kill him so that he could obtain the reward for Fairy Jasper's class for God artifact. However, when he arrived on the street, he just happened to see Blazing Glory crushing Situ Qiushui's heart. His slightly excited expression immediately froze. See Situ. Coincidentally, at this moment, Yan Huang, who had heard the sound of breaking air, turned his gaze and landed on the divine flying bat, Yi Shuhan, who was rushing over. The aura under his feet exploded, and the floor he stood on immediately shattered into pieces. Stone fragments flew everywhere, and he borrowed the force of the rebound to brazenly pounce forward like an arrow that had just left the bow, directly pouncing towards Yi Shuhan, who had just arrived. Damn it, Yan Huang pounced, and a terrifying thunderous pressure assaulted Yi Shuhan's face, causing him to feel a sense of suffocation and despair. He couldn't block it. He couldn't block it at all. Intense fear welled up in Yi Shuhan's heart as he retreated as fast as he could, instantly widening the distance between them. What he had awakened was the blood bat bloodline. This was a famous top ferocious beast in the vast wasteland. Even though it was not a spirit beast, it relied on its innate ability to determine the location of Yan Huang's murderous aura. After that, it fled without any hesitation. Even Situ Qiushui had died miserably at his opponent's hands. He, Yi Shuhan, knew that he was far inferior to Situ Qiushui. If he faced this savage, only death would await him. Whoosh! At this moment, Tsinghui, who had been standing to the side and almost ignored, made his move. Yan Huang's strength overshadowed everyone else's, attracting everyone's attention. Coupled with the fact that Yi Shuhan, Yan Huang, and the others were all great figures who had succeeded in refining spirit energy, Qing Su was clearly weaker in front of these great figures despite having cultivated true qi. But when Tsinghui truly attacked, everyone realized that they were wrong. Ridiculously wrong. One strike. Boundless radiance. In the void, it was as if a blazing meteor had appeared, carrying with it a lightning-like speed as it pierced out. Not only was this strike fast, but it also seemed to contain endless mysteries. It completely sealed off the space within 10 meters of Yi Shuhan. Unless he had the ability to teleport out of the 10-meter radius, no matter how he tried to block it, the strike would still be able to pierce through him like a hot knife through butter. The third strike of the Burning Heaven 13 Swords, Starfire Flowing Light. If I can't dodge, then I won't. A puny true Chi realm cultivator actually dares to bully me. Die. Yi Shuhan's eyes flashed with a trace of savagery. With a low roar, an incomparably cold spirit chi suddenly erupted from his body and infused into the level 3 middle-grade dagger in his hand. With a trace of the aura of death, he charged towards Tsing Hui's soaring heaven sword of the 9 heavens. As he attacked, he had already calculated the next steps. As long as his spirit chi destroyed the chi on Tsing Hui's sword, he would take advantage of the situation and charge in, capturing Cho Tsing Hui alive. Then, he would use Cho Tsing Hui to force the terrifying spirit refining realm cultivator. At that time, not only would he be able to capture Tsing Hui and escape safely from the hands of the spirit refining realm cultivator, he would also be able to bring Tsing Hui's head to Fairy Bayou and claim the level 4 divine weapon as his own. All sorts of thoughts flashed through Yi Shuhan's mind. But hope was beautiful. But when his spirit chi collided with Tsing Hui's chi, the illusion of snow being exposed to the scorching sun caused his expression to change greatly. Bang! Chi and spirit chi exploded. Compared to vital chi, gang chi was clearly several times more solid and powerful. However, at this moment, gang chi that Yi Shuhan had unleashed was rapidly melting under the bombardment of Qi Yang vital chi and was pierced through. That was not all. While the high-grade 4th-grade soaring sword possessed sharpness, it also gave Qing Su unparalleled speed. In the moment Yi Shuhan's aura was dispersed by the true chi of Scarlet Yang, the soaring sword stabbed out, piercing Yi Shuhan's right hand that held the dagger. Afterwards, with a jolt and a flick of the sword, half of Yi Shuhan's wrist was ripped apart by the true chi and sharpness that erupted from the edge of the sword. Blood spurted everywhere. Yi Shuhan's arm was crippled. The intense pain caused him to scream, "How is this possible? Your chi can actually you have cultivated to saint grade no, divine grade, Xiao." Without waiting for Yi Shuhan to finish his sentence, Blazing Glory followed up with a thunderous strike, landing heavily on Yi Shuhan's back. Rumble. Thunder roared. Yi Shuhan's body exploded on the spot. Flying God Bat Yi Shuhan died. In the blink of an eye, 2 of the 6 hostile spirit refining cultivators had died. This scene shocked all the spectators. Damn it, who is that? Ordinary spirit refining cultivators are no match for him. Could it be a peak spirit refining cultivator? If Cho Tsing Hui really invited such a strong cultivator to protect him, all the spirit refining cultivators in Luo Lin's royal family would not be able to do anything to him. Spirit refining realm, that's a spirit refining cultivator, and he died just like that. Other than the members of Hunyuan Heaven sect, spirit refining cultivators are the strongest cultivators in the surrounding 24 countries. Every one of them is famous and can suppress mountains and rivers. Yet, they were killed so easily by the person in front of us. With such a fierce person, who can do anything to Cho Tsing Hui? Quickly report this news to the sect leader. Our Yi Yuan sect will withdraw from this matter. Otherwise, it will bring disaster to the entire sect. For a battle of this level, our Immortal Fist sect will only die if we intervene. There's always someone better than us. A rank 4 divine weapon is indeed not something our Immortal Fist sect can covet. The atmosphere of fear quickly spread among the spectators. Before Tsing Hui could chase them away, at least half of the spies had left. Even those who did not leave had a look of horror on their faces, extinguishing any thoughts of killing Tsing Hui for the rank 4 divine weapon. Young master. Yan Huang shook off the blood on his hands and respectfully came to Tsing Hui's side. At the same time, he handed over Situ Qiushui's sword. This Situ Qiushue has another divine weapon. Rank 3 upper grade, the same grade as my Qing Shao sword. Unfortunately, it's a water attribute. I'll use it first. Xing Hui received the sword. The Soaring Sky Sword was Nalan Fei's personal sword, and it was impossible for him to keep it forever. Ordinary level 1 or even level 2 divine weapons simply couldn't withstand his overbearing and blazing scarlet yang true qi. If he really poured his true qi into the weapon, let alone unleashing its power, it would already be a miracle if the scarlet yang true qi didn't melt it. Chapter 86. It's my fault. Yan Huang felt very awkward. Xing Hui's green firmament sword, it was destroyed by him. Don't worry, young master. That green netherworld realm expert's divine weapon was either destroyed or used by me. However, that green netherworld realm expert, who was at level 14 chaotic realm, took out many precious ores and treasures to bribe me in order to save his life. I've kept those things. I'm sure young master will be able to forge a satisfactory divine weapon. If there are any precious ores along the way, you can buy them. Yes. Xing Hui nodded and glanced around. It seems that killing Situ Qiushue and Yi Xuehan was effective. However, this kind of deterrence is not enough. Chao Zhendao and Wang Zhe seem to be together. Our next target is to kill these two. Killing them is the same as cutting off all of Biyu's spies. When the time comes, I'd like to see if she'll come personally with her men or hide in Eastern Cloud Imperial capital like a coward. Xing Hui and Yan Huang did not stop and went straight to Chao Zhendao and Wang Zhe's courtyard. This scene once again aroused the spirits of those busybodies, and they followed one after another. As Xing Hui had not appeared before, although Bai Yu and Nalan Fei kept fighting, it was not intense. Although there were casualties on both sides, most of them were ordinary warriors in the Viscera Refining Realm and Blood-Changing Realm. In more than half a year, the number of Awakening Realm and True Qi Realm powerhouses that were lost did not exceed 20. For example, the Pentashade Dragon King's 5 True Qi Realm powerhouses and more than a dozen Awakening Realm powerhouses were killed by Xing Hui. This could be said to be the most tragic one. Because the main character was not present, Bai Yu did not come to the Lorraine Kingdom. She only used various methods to search for Xing Hui's whereabouts. At the same time, she suppressed all forces related to him in a futile attempt to force him out of hiding. Now that Xing Hui had truly appeared, Bai Yu, who wanted to avenge her brother, would truly begin to madly retaliate with all her might. However, Xing Hui obviously did not intend to give her the opportunity to accumulate enough strength. Master, something bad has happened. At the corner of the street that was less than a kilometer away from Situ Qiushue, a middle-aged man with Awakening Realm cultivation bumped into Chao Zhendao and Wang Zhe who were walking towards him. He quickly panicked. Without waiting for the middle-aged man to reply, Wang Zhe impatiently asked, "Something bad happened. Was Chou Xing Hui killed?" Since he dared to step out of the Zhuo clan's courtyard, he should have at least one spirit refining cultivator by his side, right? Please don't die so easily. This is related to a level 4 divine weapon. No. Chou Xing Hui is safe and sound, but Situ Qiushue, as well as Yi Xuehan, who rushed over, were killed. Furthermore, what? Situ Qiushue and Yi Xuehan, who rushed over later, were all killed. This is impossible. Old Hu, did you see wrongly? Situ Qiushue is a famous spirit refining cultivator. If not for the treasure that young miss bestowed upon us, even if the two of us joined hands, we might not be able to defeat Situ Qiushue. Could it be that Nalan Feng, Nalan Hong, and Nalan Sheng made a move together? It's absolutely true. Master, that Qing Su and the spirit refining cultivator beside him are heading in this direction and will be here soon. We should retreat first and wait for the other cultivators sent by Fairy Bai Yu to arrive before we plan. Chao Zhendao. Wang Zhe. Very good, I didn't expect you to be here. This saves me the time to go and take your lives one by one. Before the middle-aged man finished speaking, Xing Hui and Yan Huang's figures had appeared at the same time. They actually, Chao Zhendao and Wang Zhe looked at Xing Hui and Yan Huang with a dignified expression. Although Chou Xing Hui has reached the true Qi realm, which is inconsistent with the information we received, it is still not worth mentioning. We just need to be careful of the rank 3 divine weapon on him. The key is the middle-aged man beside him. We have the spiritual communication bracelet that young Miss gave us, which allows us to communicate mentally. In addition, the two of us have fought together for more than 10 times in the past few years. If we join hands, we can display the effect of 1 + 1 is greater than 2. We have the confidence to defeat Situ Qiushui, so it is not impossible for us to kill him. As long as we kill him, the remaining true Qi realm Chou Xing Hui will be at our mercy. Chao Zhendao and Wang Zhe reached a consensus in an instant. They did not evade and went forward directly. Masters, you can't, old who knew how terrifying Yan Huang was, exclaimed, that spirit refining cultivator's strength has definitely reached the peak of the spirit refining realm. Moreover, he has a treasure armor that could block Situ Qiushui's sword. It is most likely a rank 4 treasure armor. Chao Zhendao and Wang Zhe, who were full of confidence, froze on the spot when they heard old who's words. Peak spirit refining strength. Rank 4 treasure armor. How could he continue to fight happily like this? Fortunately, the two of them knew when to yield and when not to. After confirming that old who would not lie to them, they retreated. Just then, 2 figures whizzed over. Your Excellency Chao Zhendao, Your Excellency Wang Zhe, the person Zhuo Qingshu brought with him has a high cultivation base and is extremely ferocious. None of the 4 of us is a match for him. Why don't we join forces? At that time, if we really obtain a rank 4 divine weapon, the 4 of us will share it equally. Following the arrival of the 2 figures, they were the other 2 spirit-refining cultivators in the city, crafty assassin Shadow and poison gentleman Tong Ping. That's exactly what I was thinking. The 2 of us will be facing his bodyguard head-on. We'll have to trouble Your Excellency Slaughterer Shadow to hold him back and provide assistance. Your Excellency Injustice is proficient in poisons. You can capture Zhuo Qingshu alive and hand him over to Fairy Biu. I believe that a living Zhuo Qingshu is definitely more valuable than a dead one. Ha, just a small true Qi realm cultivator. Leave it to me. Tong Ping laughed and took the lead to charge towards Xing Hui. Chao Zhendao, Wang Zhe, and Assassin Shadow followed closely behind to block Yan Huang. Young Master. Although Yan Huang was confident in Xing Hui's strength, he could not help but call out. He, your opponent is me. If you don't want the people you are protecting to die in vain, you better surrender. Chao Zhendao and Wang Zhe both took out their rank 3 divine weapons. Their bodies were covered with earth energy and they did not dare to relax. The 2 of you are courting death. Yan Huang's eyes were overflowing with coldness as he directly faced the 2 rank 3 divine weapons that were bombarding him. His black water armor was integrated with his Gang Qi as streams of light swirled around him. Then, he stretched out his right hand and the sharp claws of a rank 4 divine weapon tore through the void. The friction between the Gang Qi and the airflow caused a violent air explosion in the void, causing Chao Zhendao and Wang Zhe's faces to turn extremely ugly. Damn it, his weapon is also a rank 4 divine weapon. Our attacks may not be able to break his rank 4 armor, but if his claws land on us, we will definitely die. Retreat. The 2 spirit-refining cultivators quickly realized the advantages and disadvantages of each other and immediately switched from offense to defense. 2 rank 3 divine weapons collided with Yan Huang's rank 4 gloves. Bang! Sparks flew. Earth energy surged. Chao Zhendao and Wang Zhe felt their palms tremble violently. A terrifying force passed through their arms and blasted into their bodies, causing them to fly backward. They almost lost their grip on the divine weapons in their hands and almost lost their grip on them. While Yan Huang was fighting with Chao Zhendao and Wang Zhe, Assassin Shadow's attack came at the right time. The rank 3 mid-grade dagger aimed at Yan Huang's throat, Wang Wang. When the dagger collided with the mystic water armor infused with stellar energy, it did not cause any damage except for a ripple. Damn it, this is definitely not an ordinary rank 4 artifact armor. It is most likely a mid-grade or even a high-grade artifact armor. Assassin Shadow cursed and was about to leave. If the attack did not hit, he would flee 1,000 miles away. You want to leave? Not so easy. Tong Buping's earth energy, which could block 90% of the true Qi realm's attacks, was like paper in front of the soaring sword. The sword was out. In the sword. Chapter 87. Qi. The sword struck. In the sword. The tip of the soaring sky sword pierced Poison Gentleman Tong Buping's throat. Blood splattered everywhere. Poison Gentleman Tong Buping died. Xing Hui kept his sword and stood quietly at the side. It had to be said that due to the fact that it was very difficult for the people of this world to conceal the ripples of power they gave off, they were extremely superstitious about their own cultivation realms. Just like Poison Gentleman, they believed that they could completely play with Qing Su in the palm of their hands. When they attacked, they would actually try to capture him alive instead of killing him directly. As a result, how could they defeat Qing Su, who wielded the soaring sky sword, whose strength was no weaker than a late spirit refining cultivator? Of course, even if Tong Buping concentrated and went all out, the result would still not change. At most, he would be able to hold on a little longer. The green ruined sword shuddered, and in the next moment, he kicked off with his feet and shot out like an arrow. He arrived behind Xiao Zhendao, who had been forced back by blazing glory in a single instance. Before he had even arrived, the sharpness of the sword arrived first, shocking Xiao Zhendao to the point where all his hairs stood on end. Damn it! Tong Buping is actually so useless. Xiao Zhendao roared. The aura Qi around his body twisted and fiercely slapped behind him. The friction between the aura Qi and the airflow caused bursts of Qi explosions in the air, shaking the ground until it cracked. Master, you can't. The weapon in his hand is at least a high-grade rank 4 spirit weapon. Under the support of the spirit weapon, his true Qi is not something ordinary aura Qi can resist. Old Hu, who witnessed how Tong Buping died, turned pale with fright and sternly shouted. However, no matter how fast his voice was, how could it be faster than Xing Hui's sword? Pang! Flames burst out, and gold and iron intersected. Xiao Zhendao activated his Gang Qi and turned around to strike the soaring sword with his palm. Although it shattered the Crimson Yang genuine Qi contained in the soaring sword, it had no effect on the body of the soaring sword. The biting cold sword pierced through Xiao Zhendao's body at an incredible speed as he tried his best to dodge. Although it did not pierce through any vital parts, it still left a dark red sword wound on his shoulder. Most importantly, this sword forced him to try his best to dodge, causing him to lose his balance. Yan Huang immediately seized the opportunity. Die! Yan Huang let out a low roar and thunder rumbled all over his body. Under the stimulation of the thunder force, his speed skyrocketed. His fist, which contained a terrifying power, arrived in front of Xiao Zhendao in an instant. Xiao Zhendao, who was powerless to dodge, widened his eyes and shouted in horror, "Wang Zhe, save me!" Not good. Wang Zhe, who had telepathy and was connected to Xiao Zhendao's mind, instantly sensed Xiao Zhendao's danger. He roared as he activated the Gang Qi in his body and viciously slashed at Yan Huang's body. Die! However, Yan Huang, who was relying on the black water armor, completely did not place Wang Zhe's explosive attack in his eyes. At the same time that the protective aura circulating around his body was slashed by Wang Zhe, the extremely thunderous attack had already struck Wang Zhe head-on, and then, his strength exploded. Boom! Blood spurted out. Xiao Zhendao, who was hit by Blazing Glory's punch, had a huge hole in his chest. He died on the spot under his horrified gaze. As for Yan Huang, who was hit by Wang Zai's attack, other than being pushed a few steps forward by the inertia of the attack, the ground on the street was torn apart. He did not suffer any injuries. The Blackwater armor was a rank 4 upper-grade armor, and Yan Huang himself was a powerful person who had condensed holy rank Gang Qi. Even if Xinghui used the divine technique to increase his attack attribute to 38, ordinary attacks would not be able to break through the defense of the Blackwater armor in a short period of time, let alone a mere Wang Zai. Brat, have you thought about how you want to die? Yan Huang rushed a few steps forward, suppressing his slightly surging qi and blood. He suddenly turned his head and stared at Wang Zai with a ferocious expression. Being stared at by Yan Huang, who had killed 4 spirit-refining cultivators, Wang Zai felt a bone-piercing chill surging up his body, causing him to feel a chill all over his body. Chou Xinghui actually recruited such a terrifying helper. Run! Run! At this moment, there was only one thought left in his mind. The next moment, he had already retreated and rushed in the opposite direction of Yan Huang with his fastest speed. He only wanted to get as far away from this demon as possible. Xiao! At the same time Wang Zai retreated, the soaring sky sword's edge had already reached him, completely sealing off the space he was retreating in. Did I say you could leave? Thousand Mirror World. Facing Xinghui's interception, Wang Zai's eyes suddenly burst out with an aghast light. The next moment, his figure seemed to have turned into 6, fleeing in 6 different directions at the same time. Illusion. Xinghui instantly understood Wang Zai's method. Unfortunately, even if his Thousand Mirror World was used against Yan Huang, it would more or less have some effect. After all, Yan Huang's spirit was only rank 34. But Xinghui break. Following Xinghui's loud shout, the 2 brilliant suns in the spiritual world bloomed at the same time. A blazing majestic sword intent was like the sun rising from the east, slowly rising, blossoming with boundless radiance, as if it wanted to pierce through the haze and darkness of the entire world. Weng weng. The ripples dissipated. Wang Zai's pale face after using the Thousand Mirror World suddenly appeared clearly in front of him. His body shook as the soaring sky sword stabbed again, piercing through Wang Zai's heart under his disbelieving gaze. You're actually not afraid of my illusion, Qi. Xinghui pulled out his sword, bringing out a cluster of blood. Xiao. Yan Huang's figure landed in front of Xinghui. Young master. After speaking, he looked at Wang Zai, who had been stabbed, and was a little surprised. I didn't expect Wang Zai to be able to use his talent. I don't know what kind of fortuitous encounter he had. Talent, usually, only when one reached the prominent divine stage and manifested their battle physique would they be able to activate the talent of their bloodline. Just like Xinghui, when he manifested the Torch Dragon battle physique or the Golden Crow battle physique, he would be immune to 99% of the fire damage in the world, and the power of his fire techniques would be doubled. If he could reach the divine power stage of the Saint stage, he would be able to turn his Red Sun True Force into the Great Sun True Fire, which would be able to burn the heavens and destroy the earth. The divine power stage was also the dividing line between the different bloodlines. If one could maintain the Divine Beast bloodline and cultivate to the Divine Power stage and derive a Divine Beast level Divine Power, it would be as easy as eating and drinking. However, the probability was too low. In the 10 great sacred sects, there might be 1 or 2 Divine Beast bloodline awakening, Divine Beast bloodline awakening, Divine Beast bloodline awakening, Divine Beast bloodline awakening, Divine Chi awakening, Divine Beast bloodline awakening, Divine Beast bloodline awakening, Divine Chi awakening, Divine Beast bloodline awakening, Divine Beast bloodline awakening, Divine Chi awakening, Divine Beast bloodline awakening, Divine Beast bloodline awakening, Divine Chi awakening, Divine Beast bloodline awakening. Divine Beast Bloodline Awakening, Divine Chi Awakening, Divine Beast Bloodline Awakening, Divine Beast Bloodline Awakening, Divine Chi Awakening, Divine Beast Bloodline Awakening, Divine Beast Bloodline Awakening, Divine. For example, the Jin Wu religion only had 12 people, including those in the true Chi stage. If the aura energy stage was already like this, then there was the prominent divine stage and the true energy stage of the saint stage, which required one to cultivate divine grade true force. Divine grade bloodline, true chi, aura energy, battle physique, true energy, divine power. Every step was difficult. As long as there was a problem at every step, the divine grade bloodline would fall back to the divine grade, and if one wanted to cultivate it again, they would have to pay 10 times, 100 times, or even 1,000 times the price. From this, one could see how precious divine grade divine power was. Young master, what should we do next? Xing Hui glanced at Yan Huang, and then at the surrounding spies, who were so shocked that they did not dare to breathe, and said, I remember that in addition to the warship on Dragon Chant Island, there is another warship that belongs to my aunt docked at the airport. It's too troublesome to passively wait for BU to bring people to kill us, and we don't know how much time it will waste. Let's just go directly to the Eastern Cloud Imperial capital. I believe that as long as we are fast enough, before the news here reaches the Eastern Sun Imperial capital, as long as I show myself, BU will definitely bring people to kill us. At that time, as long as we kill BU, this matter will naturally be resolved perfectly. Yan Huang's expression changed when he heard this. Young master, this is too dangerous. According to Miss Nalan, BU has received a treasure from the Void Origin Peak Master, so she can't be considered weak. Meanwhile, the Dragon Monarch Zhang Jiuxiao and the Scarlet Flame Fairy Tsang Xue by her side are not weaker than the God-slaying sword Situ Qiushui. If the three of them attack together, I may not be able to win, and young master, if you rashly use a divine art or secret technique, if someone sees through it and spreads the news that you are a rank 10 Son of Chaos, there will be no end of trouble in the future. Xing Hui nodded. The temptation of a rank 10 Son of Chaos was far greater than that of a rank 2 Son of Chaos. One had to know that in the entire East Baron, the Create Evolve Mystical Gates Patriarch, Dao Xuani, was only at the 16th level. Many of the Sacred Grounds Hall Masters and Law Kings were only at the first or second level of the Primal Chaos. A rank 10 Son of Chaos, even if he inherited it, would be at rank 5. If it was exposed, it would definitely attract the attention of those who did not have rank 10 Son of Chaos or those with lower rank 10 Son of Chaos. The unspoken rule of the cultivation world was that only those in the Qingming realm could maintain a rank 10 Son of Chaos. As for those above rank 15, they would have to start from the Saint realm. Young master, if you are willing to follow me, we might as well make a trip overseas. I still have a few good friends overseas. As long as we are willing to pay a price, they will definitely be willing to help us deal with BU. Yan Huang said. Overseas, hearing that, Xing Hui nodded, alright, then let's head overseas. We have already killed all the spies that BU placed in Luo Lin Kingdom. The death of the 6 spirit refining realm cultivators should be enough to deter those rogue cultivators who came for the bounty. The Zhuo family can be considered safe for the time being. Then it will be easy. The overseas cultivators have always been hostile to the disciples of the 10 great sections. Some of them would even go deep into the mainland from time to time to kill the direct disciples of the 10 great sections. After all, the direct disciples of the 10 great sects are all rich. Killing one of them would save them a few decades of searching for resources. That BU was given a treasure by the Sky Origin Peak Lord, so her wealth should not be bad. As long as we go overseas, we will definitely be able to get enough help. Yan Huang said with a smile. Let's see how BU reacts first. If she knows that I have appeared and killed all the experts she recruited, then she will rush towards Luo Lin Kingdom. We will get rid of her once and for all. Hence, we will set off 3 days later. Yes, young master. Chapter 88. Xing Hui and Yan Huang casually returned to Nalan Fei's courtyard. They did not even inform anyone, including Nalan Fei. Bai Lansheng and the rest, who were guarding the door, only knew that Xing Hui had gone out. They did not inquire further. However, the death of 6 spirit refining cultivators was an earth-shattering news to the Lorraine kingdom that did not have a single spirit refining cultivator. It was hard not to cause an earthquake. Therefore, in just a short 2 hours, the news swept through the entire Lorraine kingdom like a storm. Even if Bai Lansheng and the rest did not deliberately inquire about it, the news still inevitably reached their ears. When he received the news, Bai Lansheng felt a little stupefied. After repeatedly searching for people to verify, he immediately rushed to Nailan Fei's study as fast as he could. In the study room, other than Nailan Fei, Nailan Hong, Nailan Sheng, and 4 other true Qi cultivators were talking to Nailan Fei. When Bai Lansheng stepped in, he heard Nailan Fei's dissatisfied snort, "Since we no longer need people from the Nailan clan here, we will naturally return home. As for what will happen to the ordinary people from the Zhuo clan, it has nothing to do with us. Elders, are you really going to do this? Hee, isn't it just discussing the matter as it is? We don't want to either, but this is what you keep forcing us. We have no choice." Nailan Fei was about to say something, but at this moment, she glanced at Bai Lansheng who was coming in this direction. She immediately asked, "Is something the matter?" "Good news, great news." Bai Lansheng understood that the current situation was unfavorable to his miss and did not hesitate to throw out the news. According to the report we just received, Prince Tsinghui and his good friend, Lord Yan Huang, directly attacked Situ Qiushui's courtyard. They killed god-slaying sword Situ Qiushui on the spot and then killed flying deity Bat Yi Shuihan who wanted to take advantage of the situation. Not only that, after killing the 2 spirit refining cultivators, Prince Tsinghui and Lord Yan Huang went straight to Chao Zhendao's courtyard. On the way, they encountered music sage Chao Zhendao and mirror immortal Wang Zhe. After that, poisonous gentleman Tong Buping and Tuing followed. After a great battle, Lord Yan Huang and Prince Tsinghui killed all 4 spirit refining cultivators. What? Hearing Bai Lansheng's report in such a fast tone, everyone present, except for Nailan Fei who had some understanding of their strength, could not help but be shocked. This is impossible. Those were 6 spirit refining cultivators, and Situ Qiushui was a famous figure in the spirit refining realm. How could he be killed by someone? Nailan Sheng looked at Bai Lansheng sternly. "You're not spouting nonsense just to boost morale, are you? What I said is absolutely true." Bai Lansheng vowed, "This news has already spread throughout the entire Luo Lin kingdom." The process of Prince Tsinghui and Lord Yan Huang killing the 6 spirit refining cultivators was witnessed by many people. If the 2 elders do not believe me, you can send people to investigate. Very soon, you will be able to obtain the detailed information. When Nailan Sheng was about to speak, it seemed that Nailan Feng, who was responsible for inquiring about the news or putting pressure on Nailan Fei, rushed in. Before he arrived, his voice was heard first, "2 elders, the situation has changed." When he rushed into the courtyard and saw Bai Lansheng reporting the news, as well as the shocked Nailan Sheng and Nailan Hong, he seemed to understand something, and his face suddenly changed. Nailan Sheng did not care whether Nailan Fei was present or not and quickly asked, "Just now, this person said that Chou Tsinghui and a spirit refining cultivator called Yan Huang killed the 6 spirit refining cultivators that Bai Yu recruited. Is there such a thing?" Nailan Feng wanted to say that this news was nonsense, but under the watchful eyes of the crowd, he could not distort the truth. He could only bitterly nod his head. "There is such a thing. That Chou Tsinghui got acquainted with a spirit refining cultivator from who knows where. Not only is his cultivation not weaker than a late-stage spirit refining cultivator, he is also wearing a rank 4 armor and a rank 4 divine weapon. Relying on his cultivation and the advantage of his divine weapon, Situ Qiushui, Yi Shuihan, Chao Zhendao, Wang Zhe, and the others were not his opponents and were quickly killed by him. When Nailan Sheng and Nailan Hong heard this, their faces sank. 6 spirit refining cultivators were all dead. One must know that the area under the jurisdiction of the 10 great sects was different from the overseas. In the 10 great sects area of influence, there were not many spirit refining cultivators. Moreover, all of them were more or less related to the Hunyuan Heaven sect. Very few people were willing to rashly intervene in the battle between two spirit refining true disciples. This was also the reason why Fairy Bayou was only able to attract 4 spirit refining cultivators after half a year of relying on the reward of a rank 4 divine weapon. Now that the 4 spirit refining cultivators and the 2 spirit refining cultivators under Bayou had died, in the next few months, it would be impossible to form such a large scale again. Even if Bayou still had Dragon Monarch Zhang Jiuxiao and Scarlet Flame Deity Tsang Shui by her side, but if the 2 of them joined forces, they would only be comparable to Situ Qiushui and the other 5 spirit refining cultivators. That peak character called Yan Huang was able to defeat Situ Qiushui and the other 5 spirit refining cultivators. Naturally, he could also defeat Zhang Jiuxiao and Tsang Shui. It could be said that with the arrival of Yan Huang, the battle between Fairy Bayou and Neilan Fei had already changed. It was even possible that it would end prematurely. If the Neilan clan wanted to obtain any more Tier 3 divine weapons or pills from Neilan Fei, they would naturally have no hope of doing so. Damn it, that Yan Huang, who exactly is he? Rashly intervening in the battle between Hunyuan Heaven sect's true disciples, isn't he afraid of being hated by Hunyuan Heaven sect's true disciples? Neilan Xing angrily scolded. Neilan Fei stood up. Everyone, I have something to attend to, so I'll take my leave first. As for the elders, if you're willing to continue guarding the Zhuo family, I, Neilan Fei, am willing to accept this favor. If you want to leave, I, Neilan Fei, will not force you. In short, if you get into trouble in the future, just don't drag me, Neilan Fei, into it. With that, she no longer spoke to Neilan Sheng, Neilan Feng, and Neilan Hong. Under their somewhat awkward gazes, she quickly left the hall and headed towards Tsing Hui's courtyard. Tsing Hui and Yan Huang had just returned and were about to discuss something when Yan Huang seemed to have received some news. He hurriedly said, Gongzi, please wait for a moment. There's news from the Jin Wu religion. With that, he quickly sent a portion of his spirit into the Primal Chaos Temple. The Jin Wu religion. Tsing Hui urgently needed to obtain the Great Sun Golden Crow technique and cultivate the Golden Crow Qi. Only after cultivating the Golden Crow Qi could he continue to cultivate the Sun Torch Sutra and condense Gang Qi. Otherwise, his cultivation realm would face the danger of stagnation. Although he had received news of the teleportation technique, he could not guarantee that the teleportation technique had the ability to teleport him to Earth. Therefore, he could not relax his goal of cultivating to the shattering vacuum realm in 10 years. Under such circumstances, the sooner he obtained the Great Sun Golden Crow technique, the better. Yan Huang did not let Tsing Hui wait for too long. Not long after, he said with a happy face, Gongzi, I just received news from Tianwen. In order to cultivate the 6 elements true fire, Lai Wuyang of the Jin Wu religion will most likely collect the underwater fire formed by the volcanic eruption in Long Luo Bay in half a month. Although Long Luo Bay is a sea close to the mainland, strictly speaking, it belongs to the overseas forces. Moreover, this sea area is the territory of the Qiankuan Holy Land. The Jin Wu religion can't reach it. If Gongzi really wants to make a move, that would be the best place. Lai Wuyang. I remember that she has the 3rd layer of the Great Sun Golden Crow technique. Yes, the 6 elements true fire that Lai Wuyang cultivates is a top-notch flame essence. If she can really cultivate this type of true fire, she only needs to fuse it with the Golden Crow's bloodline when breaking through to the spirit refining realm and let the Golden Crow's bloodline consume it. There is a high chance that she can cultivate the divine grade Golden Crow Qi in one go. Good, pay attention to her movements. She will cultivate the Great Sun Golden Crow technique. Yes. Yan Huang said. Just as he was about to divert his attention back to the Primal Chaos Temple, Neilan Fei, who had received news that Tsing Hui and Yan Huang had killed the 6 spirit refining realm experts, rushed over. Tsing Hui, Sire Yan Huang. Miss Nalan. Xing Hui and Yan Huang stood up and nodded at her. I have heard the news. It seems that I have underestimated Sire Yan Huang. With Sire Yan Huang here, Baiyu will not dare to act rashly. Nalan Fei smiled. Yan Huang nodded. Baiyu's strength is limited. As long as she retains her rationality, she should be able to understand that continuing to fight against us will only cause her losses to be even greater. Nalan Fei nodded. We plan to wait here for 3 days and see Baiyu's reaction. If there is no movement from Baiyu after 3 days, we plan to make a trip to the sea. Go to the sea. Xing Hui nodded. My sword has been destroyed and I need to forge a new one. Coincidentally, Yanhuang Island has some good materials for forging swords. We plan to find those materials. The sea, Nalan Fei nodded slightly. With me protecting the Zhuo family, there won't be any problems. Now that you've appeared, Baiyu's attention will definitely shift to you. If you go to other places, it will be somewhat dangerous, but if you go to the sea, Baiyu may not have the courage to chase after you. After all, apart from the elite true disciples, ordinary people will only become prey if they go to the sea. Xing Hui nodded. In the end, he pondered for a moment before saying, Auntie, since you have Tian Xiong's background, after this matter is resolved, you should bring all the Zhuo family's direct members to the Hunyuan Heaven sect. As for the branch family members, I feel that there is no need to waste too much energy on them. You're tuning into the Blissful Bookshelf YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.